one of the great ballparks in all of baseball, Fenway Park. It is New York Yankees baseball on the network of the Yankees MSG. This afternoon, it's Cy Young Sunday. Two former Cy Young Award winners, David Cone against Brett Saberhagen, as the Yankees wrap up a three-game set here with a rubber game against the Boston Red Sox. And hi, everybody. Mike Crispino with you. Welcome to Yankee Baseball on MSG. Yanks have the best record in baseball. Only the Tigers have had a better start to a season in the last 50 years in the majors. And the Yankees continued to hit lustily on Saturday, coming back to win the second game of the series. 12 runs, 15 hits. Chuck Knobloch had the big blow in the second inning. He drilled one to right center field, got in the wind a little bit, ended up in the bullpen for his third career grand slam. The Yankees and David Wells were not headed from there en route to a big 12-3 victory. Now, the news of the day, Darryl Strawberry will not play today. He is going to sit out the final game of his suspension stemming from that battle with the Baltimore Orioles. Jeff Nelson and Graham Lloyd will be available to Joe Torre in the bullpen. They have not decided how they're going to handle their appeal. So Dale Swaim will be in the lineup. Tino Martinez still hurting with that shoulder after the slide into third base. That's the story on the lineup. Now, for our lineup, we have Ken Singleton and Bobby Mercer with us this afternoon. My question is, who hits second, who hits third? It's a tough call, guys.
Thank you very much, Mike. The Yankees trying to make it 2 out of 3 in this series here at Fenway Park before moving on to Chicago, where they'll start a 3-game series with the White Sox tomorrow night. And they're going to go with David Cone. David Cone has won his last 5 decisions. Had a no decision in his last start against Baltimore. But, Bobby, despite the fact he has a 5-1 record, he has struggled somewhat.
No doubt about it. In fact, in his last outing against Baltimore, which came at Yankee Stadium, he struggled because he couldn't find his release point. David Cone with a breaking ball there, and he hangs it inside, and it's bye-bye baby at the stadium, just finding its way inside the foul pole. That's the struggle for David Cone. He has to rely on his release point and also his control. Striking out Bordick there against Baltimore, but Palmeiro takes him the opposite way down the left field line. I think this was for a double. You can see the frustration on his face. But the Yankees have supported him with a lot of runs.
They certainly have. His last 2 starts, 12 in the third innings, 14 hits, 9 earned runs, a 5-1 record, a 6.60 ERA. Run support best in the major leagues, over 8.5 runs per game for David Cone. Now, Brett Saberhagen, a former teammate of David Cone, will go for the Red Sox this afternoon. Despite the fact that he's off to a 5-2 start, it's somewhat misleading. Those 5 wins came in order. He has lost 2 straight, Bobby.
Yes, he has. And Brett Saberhagen, just like David Cone, they both have had reconstructive surgery on their right shoulders. And Saberhagen, as you mentioned, has won a couple of Cy Youngs, but he pitches more with brains today. He uses the changeup and not the fastball as much, but he's always had good control, and he will have to rely on that control to get by this afternoon against the Yankees. He's the only pitcher in the major leagues pitching with a fishing weight in his right shoulder.
He's allowed 6 earned runs in each of his last 2 starts. We said he has struggled. He's trying to get back on the winning track. So the Yankees trying to stay on the winning track, make it 2 out of 3 here in Fenway Park before heading on to Chicago. Bobby and I will be back with the starting lineups in just a moment. A 34-year-old veteran Brett Saberhagen making the start for the Boston Red Sox this afternoon in the final game of this 3-game series. You see his numbers, 5-2 record. He's lost 2 in a row, 23 strikeouts, 13 walks. A pitcher who has excellent control. And he can spot his fastball well. Doesn't have the overpowering fastball that he once had, but certainly mixes good curves, off-speed changeups in with the mix. And you're looking at Chuck Knobloch, Bobby. You had a good game here yesterday.
Yeah, Kenny, you mentioned that Saberhagen doesn't have the fastball that he used to have, obviously because of the surgery that he had on his shoulder. He missed the entire '96 season because of it.
And the first pitch of the ball game is down low for ball 1 to Chuck Knobloch. Knobloch at 257, 3 home runs. One of those came yesterday. A big blow in the ball game for the Yankees. A grand slam, the second of his career. Ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Saberhagen, drafted by the Kansas City Royals in the 19th round back in June of '82. Came out of high school as a shortstop. And there's a called strike, 2-1. But you got to figure he had some good stats on the mound as a high school senior. 9-0 with a 0.85 earned run average. Derek Jeter in the on-deck circle.
Actually, Saberhagen this year is still working on his comeback. He came to spring training, didn't know if he was even going to be able to throw a baseball. And he started the season off by winning 5 in a row for the Red Sox.
Knobloch swings a ground ball to second for Maloney. And there's a throw to first, and 1 up and 1 out. We'll look at the rest of the lineup. behind Chuck Knobloch for the Yankees. And the starting lineups are brought to you by Bob's Stores. Great buys on brands you wear. Derek Jeter will bat second. Paul O'Neill third. Bernie Williams in the cleanup spot in center field. Tim Raines will be the DH. Chad Curtis, Scott Brosius, Dale Swaim in the lineup, and Joe Girardi will be catching and batting ninth for the Yankees. Here is Derek Jeter. 330, 7 homers, 28 RBIs. Second in the American League in runs scored with 40. And it's up and in. Did it hit him or get a part of the bat? And it looks as though it's going to go as a foul ball. Jeter almost walked into one, Bobby.
Well, that's been one of the traits of Derek Jeter. You know, he used to have that big close stance and then bail into the ball and step into it. And Saberhagen, knowing just like all the other pitchers in the league, they pitch hard inside on Jeter. That is the book on him until he adjusts to it, until he proves that they can't get in there anymore.
That's a tough way to take strike one. Comes in there again. 0-2 as another one gets a piece of the bat.
It looks like that Jeter is not looking for anything inside that's hard. You can see that's a high inside. If you are aware of the fastball or hard stuff inside, you make that adjustment. And I think here at Fenway that the pitcher has to establish that ball inside.
There's ball one. Instead of the count being 2-0, it's 0-2 as both of those first two pitches hit his bat.
And a lot of pitchers don't like to pitch inside. With Joe Torre looking on at Fenway because of that short left field wall, that green monster out there. But I think it's very important to establish the inside pitch.
Here's a changeup. Jeter just gets a piece of it to stay alive, and the count remains at a ball and 2 strikes. You're right. You're looking at the green monster out in left field. And when you're a right-handed hitter, you step up there right-handed. You feel like you can reach out and touch it with your left hand. But I think if you become pull conscious, you're doing the pitchers a favor as a right-handed hitter. Good swing, and he fouls it back. Count remains at 1-2. Jeter hitting .393 in the month of May. Paul O'Neill in the on-deck circle.
If you will notice, Jeter has opened his stance up just a bit. That will allow him to see the ball a little bit better from Saberhagen and turn inside.
Curveball up high.
Gives him a chance to see that ball better inside and also makes his bat a little bit quicker.
Looking at Jimmy Williams, he and his staff have done a very good job with these Boston Red Sox. They trail the Yankees by 5 games. Slow roller foul down the third base side and handled cleanly by Willie Randolph, as he did every time when I hit him a ground ball. Years ago. There's another look at Jimmy Williams. I talked to him before the game, and the Red Sox have improved their pitching. They have improved defensively, although it might not show in the numbers. He says that they've had some games where they've been awful defensively and built up some errors. Call strike 3 to Jeter as he's called out by Richie Garcia, and Derek didn't like it, but he turns and heads back to the dugout.
Well, Saberhagen started off with 2 pitches way inside on Jeter and then some off-speed pitches, and then he finds the inside corner after Jeter looking away once again. Let's take a look at the defense behind Brett Saberhagen this afternoon. O'Leary, Lewis, Bragg in the outfield, Valentin, Benjamin, Merloni, and Vaughn in the infield. Veritek does the catching. Young 26-year-old rookie at second base, getting a chance to play for the Boston Red Sox. Tim Naring on the disabled list. 10th round pick for the Red Sox. And all you ask if you're a young player, just give me a chance to play on the big league level. Let me show Jimmy Williams what I can do.
Well, he's from a nearby town here near to Boston. Certainly likes to play for his hometown team. O'Neill steps to the plate. Only 2 for his last 14. His average down, if you could say, down to .308. 3 home runs, 29 runs batted in. I'm going to say it before you do, Bobby. It's a beautiful day for baseball here at Fenway.
It is that.
Changeup is popped in the air. The wind is blowing out towards right, and it's going to be Darren Bragg who makes the catch. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for Brett Saberhagen here at the top of the first. The Red Sox will hit when we come back.
New York Yankees Baseball is brought to you by the irresistible taste that makes you say, did somebody say McDonald's? By American Express. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, American Express helps you do more. By your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer. There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer. And by Nobody Beats the Wiz Home Entertainment Center.
Well, you're looking at what should be a sellout crowd here at Fenway Park. Holiday weekend and beautiful weather. Great combination is David Cohn. Hits the mound for the Yankees, 5-1. But you see the inflated earned run average, 6.60, 4-2 lifetime. With a 3.07 earned run average against the Boston Red Sox. So he and Brett Saberhagen matched up in the final game of this series. And leading off for the Red Sox is going to be a former National Leaguer and Gold Glove winner, Darren Lewis. Brings a good defensive posture to center field for the Red Sox, and David Cohn's first pitch is up high, ball one.
Yeah, one of the other reasons that the Red Sox are a better team in '98 than they were in '97 is because of the play of the outfield. They've got a solid outfield now, highlighted by Darren Lewis and that speed, but also their pitching with Pedro Martinez and Tom Gordon now closing in as being one of the better closers in baseball.
A ball and a strike on Lewis. There's a pitch in the corner for call strike two. Richie Garcia, and along with the rest of the crew, Jim Cott last week when this crew was at Yankee Stadium pointed out they will call strikes and keep the game moving along. That should help out both pitchers. Lewis wouldn't chase the slider, and the count is 2-2. And today's umpires are brought to you by NAM, National Arbitration and Mediation, the most timely, cost-effective way to settle your legal disputes. Richie Garcia, Mike Riley, Tim McClellan, and John Hirschbeck. After the count went 0-2. Now it is full at 3 balls and 2 strikes on the leadoff man, Darren Lewis.
Even if you look at Cohn's stats, the more hits than innings pitched, that is not a positive. That's a negative for him.
Pitch is fouled just below us.
But the fact that Cohn's arm is sound, I think that's the major positive for David Cohn in 1998. The question mark in spring training, was his arm going to be sound? Was he going to be able to throw the 200 innings that he has been accustomed to throughout his career? I think that's a big key. Now he just has to find the release point.
Pitch is fouled off again by Darren Lewis, and Bobby, that's a good point. And I think he and Brett Saberhagen kind of mirror each other.
Well, we talked about the arm angle and the release point. He has struggled with that the last 2 or 3 outings, and obviously David Cohn, he is the key to the Yankees' success. Ever how David Cohn goes, the Yankees could just walk through this American League. If he struggles a little bit, the Yankees may struggle a little bit too, because he's got the watchful eye of Mel Stottlemyre, the pitching coach. Certainly David is the spokesperson for this ball club. Good or bad, he is up front and takes the heat off of a lot of other players.
Once again, the payoff pitch. Swung on and hit in the air to right field and fairly deep. Going back is O'Neill. That's the battle of the sun and the wind. And the ball is over his head. Bounces into the bullpen for a ground rule double for Darren Lewis. Well, we mentioned that the wind is blowing quite briskly from left to right. And that ball got up in the breeze. And all O'Neill could hope for was a chance to trail it and make the catch.
It's amazing. It's almost like all these hitters look to see which way the wind blows, and that's where they hit it. Here at Fenway, you would expect the right-handed hitters to be nothing more than pull hitters like Rico Petrocelli used to be years ago. But taking advantage of the wind and this high sky that we have here at Fenway, there's not a cloud in the sky. Bright, sunshiny day. It's very hard for the outfielders to pick the ball up.
Fenway Park, when the sun is shining, the wind's blowing, and as Bobby said, the high sky, very difficult to play in right field. Darren Bragg takes a pitch outside for a ball. Former Seattle Mariner hitting .287. There's his numbers: 3 home runs, 16 runs batted in. It's one, and it's snared by Swaim at second, and Lewis scampers back to second base. Good play by the first baseman, Dale Swaim.
It's the 3rd start for Swaim at first base, and Martinez out today.
Well, we saw the first 2 hitters in the Red Sox lineup. Let's check out the rest of them. Mo Vaughn, Reggie Jefferson, the DH, Troy O'Leary, John Valentin at third, Mike Benjamin in for the injured Nomar Garcia-Parra at short, Jason Varitek will catch, and Lou Merloni is at second base. And here is Mo Vaughn. I heard him speaking with Mike Crispino on the scorecard show about what the Red Sox have to do, and he says they have to worry about themselves. Forget the Yankees for now. Pitch is high for a ball.
Well, you certainly can't worry about a ball club that you can't do anything about. So, I mean, now that the 3-game series is coming to a close, sure, their focus is on the Yankees today. But once the Yankees take off to Chicago, Boston won't worry about this ball club until they hit Yankee Stadium next weekend. And I agree with it. It's still young in the season. You got to take care of your own house.
There is ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. That's right. It's a big 4-game series. Next week in New York, the Yankees will meet the Red Sox. Mel Stoudemire doesn't seem to be too worried about it. 2-0 on Mo Vaughn. There's a splitter, swung on and missed. 2-1. David Cone made 1 start against the Red Sox last year and had a no decision. Worked well, went 8 innings. 6 hits, couple runs, 7 strikeouts. The Yankees won the game 7-6. That was May 24th of last year.
Those are the types of pitches that win you ball games and make you great pitchers. 2-0 count to a very dangerous hitter and throwing a great pitch to him.
Swung on, a big swing, and it's fouled back. Red Sox have a runner at second and 1 out here in the bottom of the 1st inning.
I guess the big question for Boston, will they sign Mo Vaughn for 1998? It was a very frustrating year for Vaughn and the Red Sox last year. He didn't like the way the direction this ball club was headed. He ended up having to have some surgery on his knee. It wasn't a good year for him physically.
Swung on and down the left field line. If it's fair, it's trouble. It's going to bounce into the corner for extra bases. That's going to score Lewis for the first run of the game, and Mo Vaughn is headed into second with a head first slide and in with a double. And the Red Sox have jumped out on top here in the bottom of the 1st inning.
Mo has that uppercut swing, and the breaking ball just kind of hangs out over the plate. And the hit dog goes the opposite way with it. It's very fitting that the right-handers are going to the right side of the field, and the left-handers are trying to take advantage of the green monster. Perfectly placed down the left field line. Not a thing that Chad Curtis can do. And with that lost weight, Mo Vaughn with a nice slide into second base.
Here's Reggie Jefferson. And David Cone misses ball 1. Jefferson really has a swing that is very good for Fenway Park. Kind of an inside-out swing for a left-handed hitter. Can pepper that wall in left center, much in the same way that Wade Boggs did here with the Red Sox. And there's a swing and a miss. He's also a good low ball hitter.
He is definitely a good low ball hitter. That's the reason he was swinging at that low ball there, low and inside. Every left-hander that I have ever known loves the ball inside and low. But that was a little bit too low. That was a split finger, and the bottom fell out of it.
Jefferson steps in with a 6-game hitting streak going. David Cone trying to slow down the Sox here in the bottom of the 1st. And he misses upstairs.
Well, 2 things that Cone has struggled with. We mentioned about the release point, but he's been trying to cut down on the amount of pitches that he throws in a game. He'd like to cut those down by a third. He's already thrown a lot of pitches here in the bottom of the 1st.
Good breaking ball, swung on and missed. 2-2. And you know, it's a good point because David Cone has not gone more than 6 in the 3rd innings in any game this year.
You know, just like his opponent, Brett Saberhagen, both of these guys with shoulder surgery, the least amount of pitches that they can throw, the better off they're going to be and stronger they're going to be through the 5th and 6th innings.
Swing and a miss on another slider. David Cone picks up his first strikeout as he strikes out the cleanup hitter, Reggie Jefferson.
Kenny, let's take a look at the defense behind David Cone this afternoon. Curtis, Williams, O'Neill in the outfield. It'll be Girardi behind home plate this afternoon. Brocious, Jeter, Knobloch, and Dale Swain making his 3rd start at first base. He's already made a heck of a play grabbing that liner from Darren Bragg. But you bring veteran players to this ball club, and that's the depth of this ball club that has put them out in front where they're at today.
Here's Troy O'Leary batting 5th. O'Leary's career high in home runs was last year with 15. He's got 12 already this year. Good pickup for the Red Sox off the waiver wire from the Milwaukee Brewers years ago. Pitches a call strike, 1-1. You know, the general manager Dan Duquette has taken some heat here with the letting go of Roger Clemens last year, and Clemens went on to win the Cy Young. But here's a good pickup that he's made in Troy O'Leary. Just a little bit low. 2 balls and a strike. O'Leary held off.
I think when O'Leary came to the Red Sox, you know, he had that label that you label right on his back there. Platoon player. Can't play every day. Can only play against right-handed pitching. Well, he showed Jimmy Williams that he could last year, and Jimmy's got him in there every day now, and that's added more confidence to him.
Ball is grounded foul into the Red Sox dugout. Time to check out our New York Marriott Marquee matchup. Brett Saberhagen 8-4 lifetime against the Yankees, and David Cohn, as we mentioned, 4-2 against the Boston Red Sox. Former teammates with the New York Mets and also with the Kansas City Royals for a while.
Former roommates.
Yeah.
Early on in their career. Well, that must have been something. Saberhagen and Cohn.
Look out, and he's hit by the pitch. O'Leary will head to first base. So, Bobby, as you mentioned, it looks as though David Cohn is searching for his release point here in the first inning. Not able to zero in and have the control that you might like.
Well, actually, he's trying to start the pitch inside and have it run back over the inside corner of the plate. He gets it up high. That's the first mistake. I know Cohn didn't want it up that high. He wanted it lower, but that's the release point factor again.
Well, now 2 on with 2 outs. John Valentin. Here's a guy who usually starts off slow and then really turns it up in the second half of the season. His average at 244 with 6 homers and 21 RBIs. But Valentin has hit 319 over the last 5 years in this ballpark. And led the league in doubles last year with 47.
Yeah, he's a double machine.
He and the Green Monster get along well. To the corner for a call strike, 1-1. We mentioned first half in his career 283, second half 306. There's a nice view of the Yankees defensively. Bernie Williams a step or 2 towards right center. Cohn steps off and Valentin steps out. This is not the first inning that David Cohn had envisioned when he came out to the mound to make his start this afternoon here at Fenway. Two and one. On deck, Mike Benjamin, who is filling in for the injured Nomar Garciaparra, and he was eligible, speaking of Garciaparra, to come off the disabled list, but he will not today. Pitches rolled slowly towards third. Brosius to Knobloch for the force, and that's it for the Red Sox here in the bottom of the first. They touch up David Cohn for a run, and at the end of one here at Fenway, Boston leads it 1-0. Take a call strike from Brett Saberhagen. Ernie, who has hit all 5 of his home runs in his last 11 games. There's a ball and a strike. There's a look at David Cohn in between innings, talking over with Joe Girardi. And
well, I think he's trying to explain to him. It looked like he made a motion like I was rushing my pitches and getting underneath and not staying on top.
Bernie would have bounced it by Mo Vaughn. It's going to go down the right field line. Williams rounds first. He's on his way to second. Bragg is up with the ball quickly, and Bernie Williams has been hot with the bat lately. Leads off with a double for the Yankees here in the second inning. And 3 hits in this game, and all 3 of them have been 2-base hits.
Yeah, Bernie 2 for 5 yesterday, and batting left-handed here. A Saberhagen fastball inside. He turns it past Mo Vaughn down the right field line. Good play by Darren Bragg. There are an awful lot. If that ball gets by him, that's an automatic inside the park home run. That's a difficult play for that right fielder. You got to get over there and smother the ball, make sure it doesn't get by you.
Yeah, this wasn't one of my favorite right fields to play. It is difficult to say the least. A lot of angles out there, a lot of room to cover. In fact, it was so difficult they moved me to left field. Here's Tim Raines. The Rock fakes a bunt. Starts out with that average at .313.
Well, Raines batting left-handed. His job right now is to pull the ball to the right side. If he decides to bunt him over, he's got to bunt the ball down to the third baseman so that he can advance Bernie to third base for less than 2 outs.
In that shot, you saw the expanse of right field. There's ball 2. You know, this is one of those unusual parks. The foul pole down the right field line, it's the only place in baseball where the outfielder plays deeper than the foul pole. So you can actually run in and see a home run go in the seats. And there is ball 3 to Tim Raines. Brett Saberhagen, during his career, has been one of the top control pitchers in the history of the game. It's almost as if we don't have to say this next pitch is going to be a strike. There it is, 3-1.
And Raines taking all away. So a good hitter's pitch coming up, you would suspect, with Chad Curtis on deck. Curtis, a right-handed batter. Saberhagen, not the kind of guy that likes to throw one right down the middle.
There's the signs of Jason Varitek with Bernie Williams at second. Raines fouls it back. Fastball over the inner half. Saberhagen in his younger days, before the shoulder surgery, had that fastball somewhere in the mid-90s and spotting it well. So that combination can make anybody a good pitcher, and he's won the Cy Young Award twice, 1985 and in '89, both with the Kansas City Royals. Then the shoulder problems. Saw him bounce for the Mets, to the Rockies, and now to the Red Sox. Payoff pitch is popped up to the left side. Going back is the shortstop Mike Benjamin with the glasses down and makes the catch. Well, he had to hang in there.
It is a tough sun field in left field right now. Yesterday, the consecutive batter streak for David Wells was broken because of Derek Jeter and the left fielder losing the ball in the sun. It fell in for a base hit. What a good pitch by Brett Saberhagen. He had been way away on Tim Raines. He came back from 3-0 and then finally went inside and tied him up. And that didn't allow him to pull the ball the right side. So not a very good at bat for Tim Raines.
Chad Curtis, another 300 hitting Yankee at 308. And a breaking ball drops in for a called strike. Curtis has driven in 25 runs, and usually he bats from that 7th spot down. Today he's up to 6th in the order with the absence of Tino Martinez, but that's pretty good production from a guy who's usually batting 7th in the lineup. Curveball, a one hopper to Benjamin, the throw over the first, and Curtis is out, number 2. Bernie Williams. Benjamin had actually faked like he was going to make the play at second.
Well, Bernie pretty far off of second base there. I think he thought the ball was through the hole there between short and third. And Benjamin actually had a play on Bernie. You can see he got off just a little bit too far, but quickly hustling back. So Bernie doing his oats this afternoon early on in this game.
Bernie, who started this inning off with a double, has not moved. Here is Scott Brosius. Look at that average, 331. And some more production from the bottom part of the order. Ball strike.
Yeah, he's 4 for 6 in this series here. Yesterday, the bottom 5 in that 12-3 Yankee victory scored 6 runs. The bottom 5 scored 6. They scored half of the 12 runs that were scored here at Fenway.
Changeup drops in for a strike. 0-2, a beauty. Brosius has batted as high as 7th. That's where he's batting today. Only one other time. 20 times he has batted 8th, and 18 times he has batted 9th. And he has 24 runs batted in on the year.
You're allowed to move up a couple of spots if you're hitting 331.
0-2 pitch. He's a little late. Fouls it back. And today's matchup of American League Cy Young Award winners Bret Saberhagen and David Cohn. This is only the third time in the long rivalry between the Yankees and the Red Sox that former Cy Young Award winners have matched up. Go back to Catfish Hunter and Fergie Jenkins in 1976, and Dwight Gooden against Saberhagen last September. And by the way, New York won both of those games. Little looper, and it's going to go foul and into the seats over the tarp down the right field line.
Bright sunshine here today. You'll see a lot of players play with their sunglasses on. Brocious has that black chalk underneath his eye that supposedly cuts down the glare. Never did do it for me.
You feel like you're always squinting. Brocious in a deep hole, no balls and 2 strikes. Saberhagen spotting the fastball, see if he could pick up a strike, but that was just a little bit outside. On deck, Dale Swain. In the early going here, it looks like Saberhagen has the best control of he and Cohn. Up and in. That will level the count off at 2-2.
You can see how Saberhagen works along with David Cohn. They've got a great idea of how they want to pitch each and every batter. They know what the situation is. I thought he pitched Tim Raines as good as anybody, even though he fell behind 3-0.
Call strike 3 over the outside corner, and Brocious does not like the call, but he's going to be out. So Saberhagen picks up his second strikeout. His leadoff double by Bernie Williams is left at second. We head to the bottom of the second inning with the Red Sox on top. Yankee Baseball is brought to you in part by Toyota. Every day. Well, David Cohn, let's see if he can fare any better here in the bottom of the second than he did in the bottom of the first when he gave up a run on a couple of hits. Mike Benjamin swinging at the first pitch and singles into center field. We mentioned Benjamin in there. He's a backup infielder for the Red Sox because Nomar Garciaparra is on the DL. He was scheduled to come off today, but he is not ready and will not make this series.
And Benjamin has done a good job. He is a very aggressive hitter like Garciaparra. Benjamin has been around for a while.
This is a look why Garciaparra is out. He was back on May 8th trying to stop a base hit through the middle, and he injured his shoulder and bruised it severely and has been out for a while. Here's Jason Varitek, the catcher.
You know, those slight separations, and that's what they claim that Garciaparra had. It takes a long time, the soreness there, and of course Boston, they don't want to take any chances with their best hitter.
There is a throw to first. Benjamin is back.
Garciaparra did take batting practice yesterday, and so he is back swinging the bat for the very first time.
You think it might bother him more throwing because it is his throwing shoulder. 2-0 to Jason Varitek.
Almost the same thing that happened to Tino Martinez when he stretched a ball down the right field line into a triple. When he slid into third base, he strained his right shoulder. That's the reason he's not playing today.
Infield looking for the double play. Ball 3. David Cohn falls behind 3 balls and no strikes, and he wants a new ball. Look at Jason Varitek, a switch hitting catcher. 3-time All-American at Georgia Tech. Some good players that come out of there. Darren Bragg.
Garciaparra.
Yep.
All teammates.
There's a 3-1 strike.
I'd like to pitch against that lineup in college.
Men headed for the big leagues.
Well, this is the product of that Heathcliff Slocum trade to Seattle. Varitek behind Dan Wilson, even though he's a rookie. Jimmy Williams really likes him. He's a switch hitting catcher. He's young. He's got a good arm. He threw out a couple of Yankees the first night in here, trying to steal second base on him.
Plus the fact that you're switch hitter, that's one less move for a manager. Helps keep you in the lineup too. Pitches hit hard through Dale Swain. Chuck Knobloch's going to retrieve it, but it's going to be an infield single for Varitek. I think Swain got a glove on it, but couldn't handle it.
Tough play for the first baseman. You got to hold the runner on. You are even with the bag, so you're right on top of the hitter, and he hits a line rope and a shot to you. Your reaction is the only thing that you have to defend yourself. Swain did get the letter on it, but he couldn't hold on.
That has not been scored as of yet. Ball was hit very hard. 2 on, nobody out. And Lou Merlone, who was just wearing out pitching at the AAA level. He squares the bunt, takes it up high for ball 1. So Jimmy Williams, even though you feel that Fenway Park is a park where you need a lot of runs and you want to try and keep your big innings going, he's going to try and sacrifice, move some runners into scoring position. There's the bunt. It's popped up over the head and foul. So Swain came on, and Merlone actually caught a break. Swain charging, had the ball go over his head.
No doubt about that. Swain charging hard, and the ball was bunted too hard. It was bunted up in the air, so Swain overran it. And before he could reverse direction right here, it was already by him. That's not where Merlone wants to bunt the ball. He wants to bunt it down to third baseman.
Squares again. Gets the bunt down. David Cone has it, and he looks to third and will go to first. So Merlone will get the sacrifice down. And it looked to me like David Cone had a play at third base.
He didn't have a hold of it. He took a look at third, and it was an easy play for him, and I don't think he had a good grip on the baseball. We'll see the Yankees in action on this play right there, but I don't think he looked like he slipped a little bit and didn't have a good grip of the baseball. So he goes ahead and takes the sure out at first base. Watch him spin. And I don't think he slips kind of right there. That little hesitation takes him to first base to get the out.
He takes the sure out. By the way, on that ball hit by Varitek, that will go as an error on Dale Swain. So second and third, 1 out, and Darren Lewis takes a pitch up high for ball 1. Lewis started the game off for the Red Sox with a ground rule double into the bullpen over the head of Paul O'Neill. Lewis hitting .285. Now, he was known as all glove and very little production with the bat over in the National League. 1-1. Well, the Red Sox seem to have gotten a bonus with him hitting at .285. Just a little bit low.
Very frustrating for David Cone in this start here too. He threw 26 pitches in the first inning, so that's way above a pitch count for 1 inning for David Cone. You see that he's still very frustrated about his release point.
That is swung on and missed on a high breaking ball. 2-2.
I think if you watch Joe Girardi, he will continue to remind. That was a little bit of a hanger, and you can see Lewis just overswung at that one. I think Girardi will continue to remind David Cone about, staying on top, don't rush yourself, etc.
Runners at second and third with 1 out. And a ground ball is short. This will get a run home as Jeter will throw on the first and get Lewis. But Benjamin scores from third, and the Red Sox lead it 2-0. But Darren Lewis, just by making contact, didn't have his best swing, but gets the job done.
And fundamental play. Lou Merlone bunting the 2 runners over, puts that run at third base and allows, and the Yankees have to play back in the infield. Will give up that run, and just contact produces 1 more run for the Red Sox.
And here's Darren Bragg. Slider for a strike. When Darren Bragg first came up in Seattle, they thought he might be a player like Lenny Dykstra. Top of the lineup. Somebody could make things happen, but it hasn't really worked out that well. Way outside. Nice play by Girardi to come up with it.
Well, Bragg from Waterbury, Connecticut. Take another look at Girardi. Watch how far he has to go. It's a good thing he got some leather on it with the runner down at third. You know, Cone doesn't miss that far out of the strike zone without something being wrong.
Good sharp breaking ball for a called strike.
But he's a Bulldog from Waterbury, Connecticut, and he was a heck of a football player. This is a dream come true because in his area, about half Yankee fans, about half Red Sox fans. He won't say which fan he was right now.
Pitch is grounded slowly, and it hits the bag. Swaim is up with it. He's had a heck of a hit.
Has he ever.
And he makes the play for the final out. Red Sox score a run. There was an error. They had a hit. We played 2. It's 2-0 Boston.
Lots of Yankee fans here at Fenway. We go to the top of the third, and Dale Swaim leads it off with a base hit just past the third baseman Valentin. So Swaim with a tough inning in the back in the bottom of the second inning. Starts it off with the Yankees here. Base hit.
Now Valentin about even with the bag at third, and this is a ball that refused to be caught off of his glove. Then Mike Benjamin will try and get to it, and he can't handle it cleanly. So that ball was meant to be a base hit for Dale Swaim.
Second hit of the season for Swaim. He did a heck of a job at the bat yesterday, even though he was 0 for 6. Joe Girardi will step in. And Girardi hasn't played the last 2 days, batting .224. Still looking for a home run and 5 RBIs. Red Sox score a run in the bottom of the first, also a run in the bottom of the second. And that's hit off the glove of Valentin. Fair ball. There's not a whole lot of foul territory here, as you can see. Very quickly, the shortstop Benjamin over to pick it up, so Swaim will have to hold it second, and the Yankees have their first 2 men on here in the third.
Well, one to his left and now one to his right off the glove of John Valentin. And it's going to be a good hustle by the shortstop Mike Benjamin. That fan can't get to it. The ball boy gets out of the way, and then Benjamin hustles over. And that enables him to hold Swaim at second base. Here's another look at it. Well, first to his left. And that ball would have gone over the bag fair. So it's off the glove, and he holds him to a single. John Valentin wondering what's going on. He's talking to the pitcher, Brett Saberhagen.
Well, Boston took it to Swaim back of the second inning at first base. The Yankees are taking it to Valentin at third base here in the third. So nobody out, and Chuck Knobloch will step to the plate.
They saw a shot of Jimmy Williams, the Red Sox manager, who for many years was the third base coach for the Atlanta Braves. And you know, so much success down there in Atlanta, and maybe just starting to get the Red Sox pointed in the right direction.
Well, Jimmy Williams knows about pitching, being with the Braves and with Bobby Cox, and over there with Smotes and Glavine and Maddox.
Believe it or not, the Red Sox lead the league in pitching. Earned run average.
Knobloch 0 for 1, and the first pitch is down low for a ball. Knobloch 3 for 7 in this series, 3 for 8 now with that 0 for 1 in the first, but hit a big home run yesterday, a grand slam into the right center field bleachers. 2 men on for the Yanks. What a beautiful day it is for baseball.
I knew you'd get that in.
I'm not lying.
Oh, it is.
The whole weekend series has just been gorgeous as far as weather is concerned. And the Yankees trying to win another series against a ball club. They have not lost a series this year. They've won 16 consecutive series. Well, the rubber game this afternoon, and Boston leads it 2-0. They will try Valentin out one more time, but this time it's foul.
See, the foul ones he doesn't have problems.
No.
The one in fair territory he can't catch. Here's a look at it again. Watch him cross into foul territory. Handle it cleanly. That's a nice play.
Because of Knobloch's speed and the possibility that he may lay one down, Valentin has to play on the edge of the grass at third, so that actually gives Knobloch a little bit of an advantage if he pulls it to that side. Well hit into left field. O'Leary looks up, and it is gone. Knobloch playing long ball once again. A 3-run shot, and the Yankees will take a 3-2 lead. How about that? It took Knobloch a while to get started, but boy, once he got started, a grand slam yesterday and a 3-run shot here early on in this game.
Well, you saw some contrasting styles by the managers. Remember that Merlone was bunting runners in the scoring position for the Red Sox in the bottom of the second. Well, the Yankees had 2 runners on. Joe Torre decided, we'll let the guy swing away. And Chuck Knobloch, just like yesterday, comes through with a big blast.
And Derek Jeter steps in, and the first pitch to Jeter in for a call strike.
Here's a look at the pitch. Was centered, kind of tailing in towards the middle. Knobloch just turned on it. And this ball, well, it's going to refresh the Yankee fans here at Fenway Park.
And there are an awful lot of Yankee fans here at Boston. Chuck Knobloch, what a pickup for the Yankees. So we're talking to Dale Swaim, who was also on base. Maybe he's talking about Swaim giving him a sign or something.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about that.
Yeah. Jeter will foul that one back out of play. Swaim was down at second base, but Knobloch was at the plate. They were giving each other location or signs.
Well, a couple of veteran ball players, certainly Swaim capable of picking up signs and relaying them in a subtle fashion.
Now Don Zimmer, former manager here at Fenway for the Red Sox.
Chuck Knobloch, 5'9". Tim Raines about the same height. They just estimated the home run hit by Knobloch at 416 feet.
They peeled down at first. They thought maybe Jeter went around a little bit too far, but no, says Riley. How much?
416. Up and in to Jeter. They've stayed up and in on Jeter all afternoon.
This was outside and low, and what a good piece of hitting by Derek Jeter. An off-speed pitch, and he just serves it into center field for a base hit. Well, the first 4 men up here in the third with base hits.
Well, for last pitch was up and in. Then he went with the changeup, and Jeter kept his hands back and got it into the outfield for a base hit. The way Jeter's been swinging the bat the last few weeks, now he's had a 15-game hitting streak. Was broken just the other day, but you have to make just about perfect pitches to get him out, and it's just not working for the pitchers in the American League right now.
Came into the game hitting .330 in the top 10 in batting average. This is Paul O'Neill. O'Neill flied out to right field his first time up. You got to be careful with Jeter. He's got speed at first base. Jeter with more stolen bases than anybody yet on the Yankee Ball Club. 11, been caught 1 time. That will get Paul O'Neill a lot more fastballs than what he would normally hit. But I think, Kenny, the strength of this ball club, they're showing it right now, is the compliment that each and every hitter has in this lineup. You just can't let up on anybody. You can't pitch around anybody.
Well, you saw where it started at the bottom of the lineup, this rally in this inning. And you mentioned it yesterday. That's where primarily for the Yankees the runs came from.
They scored 6 yesterday from the bottom 5. And another throw back to first base. Mo just puts the tag on Jeter's back just to kind of loosen up a bit. But the Yankees come out swinging the bat against Saberhagen here in the third. And the off-speed pitch high and outside, so it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. There's still nobody out here in the third to O'Neill. Big hole between first and second. And they thought Jeter may take off the pitch outside, and Jeter holds at first.
You can afford to have a pitch out or two with Saberhagen on the mound because reliable. He'll come back with a strike.
One of the reasons Jeter may not be taking off right now is just to give O'Neill a chance to hit the ball through that big hole, with Mo Vaughn holding the runner on at first. And Saberhagen goes outside again. Now he's fallen behind 3-1. I used to ask the guy at first base when I was batting, if we had a guy like Saberhagen, a right-hander, to just hold there, give me a one shot, at least one shot to drive the ball in between first and second.
This is a good count to have Jeter going, though. 3 balls and a strike. You figure that Saberhagen will throw a strike. Close play at first. Here's a look at it, and Jeter scrambles to get back. You see that right hand just to the back of the bag. That's where you're taught to go for, because the first baseman has to reach as far as he can to get you.
Jeter takes off, and the pitch is swung on and fouled out of play.
Well, if he's going 3-1, you got to figure he's going 3-2. The Yankees still trying to make things happen here at Fenway Park. And some managers come in here and kind of lay back. They figure to watch the home runs and the doubles and the extra base hits fly. But still, part of this Yankee offense is putting runners in motion. When you have the speed like Jeter or Knobloch, keep them in motion. Even on a base hit, he might be able to get to third base as O'Neill fouls it back.
And a club that doesn't strike out that much normally puts the ball in play.
The Yankee hitters have drawn the second most walks, and as Bobby said, they have struck out the fewest times in the league. That's a pretty good combination. Guys who have good eyes at the plate and usually make contact.
Yeah, they're contact hitters. Jeter does take off again, and once again the ball foul back and out of play. Did it ever bother you as a hitter when the runner took off? I mean,
only if
out of your vision, out of the corner of your eye, you can see him take off and take a little bit of the concentration away when the pitcher delivered the ball.
If I didn't know he was going, I think it would bother me. But you know, if I knew the runner was going, you really concentrate on the pitch, and you figure something's going to open up in the infield, and you hit a ball hard somewhere, you get it through.
Probably more bothersome at second base than at first base. Runner takes off again, and once again O'Neill is going to be worn out, but Jeter is going to be more worn out. Well, tomorrow here on MSG, the Yankees will take off to Chicago. It'll be the Chicago White Sox and the New York Yankees starting a 3-game series. Pre-game, our New York City Marriott Yankees scorecard show starts at 6:30. We hope you'll tune in. Once again, Jeter takes off. He is going to be 4. How many? Is that 5?
That's at least 4.
Is that 4 or 5? Look at Jeter. Boy, he's breathing hard. It's good to be young. I'll tell you that in this situation.
He's young. He'll get over it.
You and me?
Not anymore.
We'd probably have to hold up on this next pitch.
Tomorrow night, good pitching matchup. Hideki Irabu will start for the Yankees against the White Sox, and Jimmy Navarro, veteran right-hander, will pitch for Chicago.
Jeter takes off. This time the pitch is driven at second base, but the second baseman is not there. Jeter will go to third, and O'Neill will stop at first. I don't know what happened there. I think the second baseman was out of position. And that's going to bring Kerrigan, the pitching coach, out to the mound.
Well, the Red Sox guessed wrong, and I think all these pitches were away from O'Neill, so instead of the shortstop covering, they had the second baseman covering, not expecting O'Neill to be able to pull an outside pitch. Well, O'Neill crosses him up, pulls it right through the hole. Jeter's at third, and that's why you send a runner 3-1, 3-2, hoping something will open up. And Jeter, well, he can walk over to third base with his speed.
Boy, did they ever guess wrong. I mean, you got to figure 3-2 that it's going to be more. You're going to catch more of the plate with the pitch than you are 1-2 or 2-2. That's Bernie Williams got a chance to add another. But Jeter down at third with nobody out here in the top of the third. 5 hits in a row, and so far highlighted by the 3-run shot from Chuck Knobloch. His 4th home run of the year. Bernie doubled down the right field line his first time up, and that pitch is fouled back and out of play.
I don't think there was a seat to be had here this afternoon. We had over 33,000 here yesterday and on Friday night.
Now the sellout crowd for this Yankee 3-game series. Out in front and lofted off to the left side and back into the stands.
From my understanding, they were looking for $75 for a bleacher seat yesterday.
Come on.
$75.
That's scalping.
Yeah, I know it's kind of illegal, but that's the going price.
I mean, there are an awful lot of Yankee fans, not only here at the ballpark, but at the hotel the Yankees stay
they
at.
were everywhere at the hotel. They're talking about a new ballpark here in Boston, of course, so they want a ballpark with a capacity of more than 32 or 33,000.
Probably won't get it before your and I lifetime.
You never know, Bob. Never know.
Fenway Park, one of the oldest ballparks, along with Tiger Stadium.
They've been playing here since 1912.
I could tell by walking on the cement in the stands. My feet stick to the floor. Popped him up. Shallow left field. Going back is Benjamin. Coming on is O'Leary. And Jeter will break off to third base, but the pop-up into left field not far enough. So the Yankees finally making out here in the third.
Now the target is low and the pitch is up. You see Bernie come out of the crouch and try and get to that high fastball. Couldn't do it. Got underneath it. Benjamin going back. Easiest play is for the left fielder O'Leary, who makes it. And of course Fenway Park here in left field not very deep to begin with, so no chance for Jeter to tag.
So Tim Raines will have a chance to knock Jeter in at third. Raines 0 for 1. Raines started in left field here Friday night, first game of this 3-game series. First pitch up high for a ball. He didn't play yesterday. See Jeter at third. There's O'Neill on at first. Joe Torre very, very careful with Tim Raines now, those legs. If there's any type of soreness at all, and if Torre can, he will give Raines some rest.
Well, the ability to move people in and out of left field and the DH slot, certainly a lot of room for maneuvering for Joe Torre.
Outside for a ball. The Yankees actually playing without a couple of players this afternoon. Darryl Strawberry has decided to drop his appeal of that suspension, so he will serve his third day suspension this afternoon. He is not available. Tino Martinez with that sore right shoulder. I don't know if he's available or not. He did not start.
They expect Tino to be back either tomorrow night in Chicago or the next night.
So actually, they're playing with 23 players. The Yankees have the lead here with 1 out in the third, 3-2 over Boston. Way outside, ball 3 on the changeup. And like David Cone in the first inning, Saberhagen really struggling in the third here and has thrown an awful lot of pitches. And I think that Kerrigan, Jimmy Williams, they have him on like a 90 pitch count.
Good pitch to hit here, 3-1 for Raines.
O'Neill will take off. The pitch is swung on and line foul, though, down the right field line.
You know, when you come into this ballpark, and I felt it years ago playing, you felt downright offensive in here. You felt like you were going to get something done. And a lot of high scoring, but of course the Red Sox had a pretty good offensive ball club too, with Carlton Fisk and Fred Lynn and Jim Rice and George Scott, Carl Yastrzemski, all those players, excellent hitters. Here's a look at Tino on the bench.
Now it's 3-2 to Raines. Still nobody out. Check that 1 out. Runners on first and third. O'Neill takes off again, and it's a soft looper out into left field. It will fall in front of Lewis, Jeter will come on to score, and O'Neill will end up at third, and the Yankees now lead it 4-2.
It seemed like Saberhagen wanted Range to hit a changeup to get a hit. Kept throwing changeup after changeup. Jeter scores his 41st run of the year, which ties him for the league lead. And I'm not so sure that pitch was a strike. Range really went out and got it. And with O'Neill on the move, once again, the Yankees will chase a runner from first all the way to third as the ball dunks into left center field ahead of Lewis for the base hit. Derek Jeter. Ben Grieve. How about Ben Grieve of the Oakland A's? The rookie leading the league in runs scored with 41. Coming into the day, Jeter has just tied him for the league lead.
Jeter will have to sit in the Yankee dugout on the bench there, and he'll have to rest up. He's been running a lot on the base pass in this inning. Chad Curtis steps in now. Chad 0 for 1. Saberhagen goes inside. O'Neill on at third. And Range with pretty good speed on at first base. Six base hits by the Yankees in this inning so far. Breaking ball misses up high. Now it's 2-0. So Saberhagen now pitching behind with most of the hitters. Ron Mayhay, the left-hander, converted outfielder, warming up. Another good pitch for a hitter coming up. Kenny, you just couldn't get it done through the first two innings, and then once I took it over here in the third,
they had to bring the big hitters in.
Yep. Yankees have gotten at least 4, and they're threatening for some more. In on the hands, a soft looper. The second baseman Merlone, he could have dropped that ball, maybe turned it into a double play, huh? Too risky though with a man on at third. For a rookie, I think it's a little too risky.
Well, it kind of sets off
Roberto Alomar may have done.
Yeah, kind of sets off things in a wild direction when you do that. And if you mess up,
you don't want to mess up. That's like going from first to third with 2 outs and getting thrown out at third base to end the inning. The Yankees, with Brocious coming to bat, now have batted around in this inning. That's the 11th time this year that the Yankees have batted around in an inning. Up high to Brocious. Brocious struck out on a disputed call by Brocious back in the second inning.
7 for his last 17. That's how those RBIs pile up. That average gets up over 330.
That's in there for a called strike. Now it's 1-1. Well, Brocious is returning to the Brocious of old, I guess, offensively. Had a down year last year, good year for Oakland 2 years ago with the bat. Boy, he has been solid at third base as far as defense is concerned. Off-speed pitch lined in left field. O'Leary back. It's going to be off the wall. O'Neill will come on to score. Range will hold up at third, and the Yankees lead it 5-2. A little rat-a-tat-tat on the green monster at left field, and Brocious picks up another RBI. Well, here at Fenway, Ken, you can hit the ball a long ways and only end up with a single.
Well, it gets the job done. It drives in a run. The Yankees with 6 of their 7 hits in this inning. And this is a solid shot off the wall. O'Leary right away. He's become very proficient in playing the wall out there and comes up with it very quickly. That will hold Brocious to the single. Hanging breaking ball right up there for him to spank off the wall in left field. Watch him. He's thinking double, but I better hold on for his single.
And the guy that started this inning, Dale Swaim, steps in for the second time. 72 pitches now for Brett Saberhagen. Here comes Jimmy Williams. That's going to be off for Saberhagen. As I mentioned, 72 pitches with that pitch outside and low to Swaim. Saberhagen facing 10 men here in this inning. He will leave Yankees come out swinging the bat against him here in the third. So we've got a pitching change here in Fenway. We'll be back right after these messages. The New York Yankees baseball is brought to you in part by Hertz. For business, for pleasure, nobody does it exactly like Hertz. And the new pitcher is left-hander Ron Mayhay. A converted outfielder a couple of years ago, and now taking over as a pitcher here in the Red Sox organization. 1 strike count. He will take to Dale Swaim, his first batter. Now it's 2-0 to Swaim.
Swaim, a switch hitter, jumps over to the right-hand side of the plate.
2 outs, and the Yankees lead it 5-2.
Looks like he's thinking wall ball, doesn't it?
The Yankees today, Bernie Williams, a switch hitter. Dale Swaim, a switch hitter.
Tim Raines.
Tim Raines, a switch hitter. 3 switch hitters in the Yankee lineup.
Posado on the bench. That saves some moves for a manager, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And a veteran player like Dale Swaim, who hasn't had a chance to play much this year. The most difficult part of being a platoon player is because you don't get a chance to play. But Tino Martinez.
Well, this is on Friday night. And Tino running out of triple. Watch him slide. Watch the right shoulder as he hits the ground here at Fenway. And he kind of hyperextends it. And that's why Tino was out the last couple of days here.
And Mayhay will walk Swaim to load the bases with 2 outs. You know, a lot of guys will, Jimmy Williams looking on, a lot of guys will put that something in their hands so that they won't, you know, put that hand down and try to brace them when they slide. Stay away from that. So Joe Girardi will get a chance to bat with the bases loaded here in the 3rd inning. His 2nd time up. And Mayhay misses outside. Girardi with an infield hit. Raines on at 3rd. Swaim down at check that. Brocious down at 2nd. Swaim on at 1st. Now it's 2-0.
Well, the Red Sox fans getting kind of anxious as Joe Kerrigan, who done a pretty good job putting this Red Sox staff together. They really struggled last year as a pitching staff. And one thing that Joe has always preached, getting the ball over the plate, throwing strikes. Letting your fielders work behind you. But Mayhay at this point struggling to get the ball over. He had only walked 1 man this year coming into this appearance. That was in 6 1/3 innings.
Well, if you're not Gray as a manager or a pitching coach, after your guys come out of the pen throwing balls, that's a strike. One thing you want your guys to do when you bring them into the game is at least throw some strikes. Mayhay only 26 years old. 6'2", 190-pounder. And that's in the dirt. Nice stop by Veritek.
I'm not so sure he knew where it was right away. He kind of did the 360 move and found that the ball had not gone behind him. Watch the pitch in the dirt. Veritek, you know, gets that mask off quickly, heads back to the screen, but the ball is approximately where he started.
Good pitch for Girardi coming up. And it's Mayhay who makes the good pitch on the outside corner. Now it's 3-2. Everybody will be running on this pitch. There they go, and the pitch is lined into right field. Coming on is Bragg. He won't get it. Raines will score. Brocious will score. The Yankees lead it 7-2.
Well, Bobby, you mentioned the bottom part of the order for the Yankees. As I said, downright offensive yesterday if you're a Red Sox fan, and the same thing today. Joe Girardi with his 2nd hit this inning. This one will score 2 runs. Remember, the runners are going 3-2, and I think if that hadn't been the case, Bragg would have had to play at the plate. Now with Brocious off and running, he's going to score easily from 2nd. And the Yankees have scored 7 times here in the 3rd inning.
They're already now 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs. And that brings up Chuck Knobloch for the 2nd time in this inning. First time up, he hit a 3-run home run, his 4th of the year. It was Knobloch yesterday in the 2nd inning who hit the grand slam home run. The Yankees scored 5 in their blowout game win yesterday against the Red Sox.
Yesterday's grand slam by Knobloch was the first by a Yankee since Bob Watson hit one off Bob Stanley in 1980. It was only the 10th in the history of by a Yankee at Fenway Park. That goes back a ways.
Yes, it does. 1-2 count now to Knobloch. Well, I think it's kind of fitting for David Cone. You know, the Yankees have supported him with lots of runs in his starts. His average run support 8.5 the Yankees have given him. High, and is it deep enough? Not this time. O'Leary shading his eyes from the sun, and Knobloch just missed his 2nd home run of this inning. But the Yankees score 7, highlighted by that shot right there, a 3-run shot by Knobloch. New York Yankees baseball is brought to you in part by Guinness, the perfect pint. There may be some Red Sox fans getting into their Guinness here midway this afternoon after that 7-run 3rd.
Good day for it, though.
Absolutely. And David Cone doesn't mind 1 iota. They have supported him with over 8 runs in his starts as Mo Vaughn will lead off the Red Sox here in the 3rd. Mo double down the left field corner, picked up an RBI in the 1st inning.
David's been sitting a while. A chance to take a nap if he wanted in the top half of the inning.
You can see the shift on Mo Vaughn. That's outside. Now Cone has fallen behind 2-0. At third baseman, look where Brocious is. He's out towards shortstop. That's foul. Yesterday, the Red Sox put on a shift for Darryl Strawberry. They moved 4 guys over there on the right side. He got 2 hits. Of course, Ted Williams, they used to put shift on him all the time here at Fenway. And it was more of a challenge to him than anything else. Lined into right field. Another hit for Vaughn, quickly over his O'Neill, so that will hold Vaughn at first. So the hit dog 2 for 2 this afternoon.
Wasn't it Lou Boudreau who started that against Ted Williams? He was the manager of the Cleveland Indians, decided to put a shift on. As we watch Mo Vaughn, shift or don't shift, he gets the base hit. You hit the ball hard, you got a good chance of having it drop in. Well, that's a nice shot, isn't it? Paul O'Neill runs over and cuts it off.
That'll bring up Reggie Jefferson, the designated hitter who struck out his first time up. And Cone up high.
Well, the Yankees have done their part in the usual run support for David Cone. There's some years when you're pitching, you hardly get any support at all. And others, he's got 7 runs. He's got 5 runs to work with. Erasing a 2-0 deficit just like that.
That's probably not the foremost thing on his mind. He's probably worried about his release point and why he has been wild and not able to put the pitches where he normally can put them. 2 balls and a strike for Reggie Jefferson. Nobody out, 1 man on for Boston. Yankees do lead it though, 7-2. That caught a piece of Girardi. Ouch. All the equipment that these catchers have on, and the batter fouls the ball and always finds either some flesh or bone.
Yeah, I used to catch it, you know, for about a week. I did in Little League, and then that first foul ball, yep, out on the inner thigh. That hurts.
Up high, ball 3.
It helped David Cohn to have an easy inning, but it doesn't look, he hadn't had an easy inning his first 2. And after the Yankees put up 7 on the board, look at Mel Stoudemire. He hit a grand slam against the Red Sox. You know that back in 1965?
I didn't know that till you brought it up. I think Jefferson got underneath it. Bernie backed up. Now he's got to come on, and Wynn playing some tricks in the outfield. Vaughn went halfway, so he goes back to first base. When Jefferson took a swing at that ball, Bernie went back about 3 or 4 steps.
Number 25.
Not only did Mel Stoudemire hit a grand slam against the Red Sox, it was an inside the park grand slam off of Bill Monbouquet at Yankee Stadium. And I asked him about it a few weeks ago, and he was saying, yeah, just got one in the gap, and it kept going and going and going, and out near the monuments in the old days, which were on the field at Yankee Stadium. He got inside the park, and ever since he's seen Bill Monbouquet, he always gets on him about that inside the park grand slam.
And I'm sure Mel didn't want to talk about it, right?
No, not at all.
Pitcher talking about an inside the park grand slam. Big swing and a miss. Troy O'Leary 1-1 on him. Split finger swung on. Now it's 1-2. O'Leary's another one of these players that had a platoon tag on him.
Can't hit that splitter. You got to make it come up. With Cohn ahead on the count here, I wouldn't be surprised if he threw another one down there.
He does. Hit hard to Swain. The Jeter for 1. Back to David Cohn. What a double play. Started by Dale Swain. 3-6-1 DP. Red Sox are gone. Yankees lead it 7-2. New York Yankees baseball is brought to you in part by American Express. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, American Express helps you do more. And we go to the top of the 4th inning, and joining me now is the beautiful Susan Wallman. How about these Yankees,
How about these Yankees? David Cohn continues with his run support. I guess you just have those years every now and then. What is he averaging? 8 runs per game now?
8.5 runs per game. He won't complain, will he?
No, he sure won't.
Well, the Yankees will try to pick up some more. They send 11 men to the plate. This is Jeter lining one into left center field. Quickly over is Lewis. Jeter will try for 2. The throw is in time. What a play by Lewis in center field to gun down Jeter at second.
That's one of the reasons the Red Sox picked up Darren Lewis. He's got a terrific arm and is a very, very good center fielder. Look at this. Plays it perfectly. Sets himself. Perfect strike. Derek Jeter's going to be out right there with that tag. There he is again. Look how he sets himself there. He knows exactly where to go. Right to Lou Merlone, who tags out Jeter.
Paul O'Neill will bat second. O'Neill 1 for 2 with a run scored. Another beautiful afternoon for this Red Sox-Yankee series. And Ron Mayhay, the second pitcher in the game. Saberhagen started. He only lasted 2 2/3. Another sellout crowd.
Now there's something new out there. Seeing those bleachers, they've blacked out those center field seats. For 70 years, people sat in those seats. This year, they complained.
Tell me. I know all about people sitting in those seats out there.
Come on, it didn't hurt your hitting, did it?
Well, I couldn't see the ball in the daytime. That's the reason that I think they finally blacked it out.
Yeah, they did. Just in the daytime, those seats were there. They used to call that Knig's Corner. Tony Conigliaro was the first one who made them put those black things up there when he was hitting during the day.
2 Hopper to Mo Vaughn. He'll take it himself. 2 gone. You know, talking about those center field seats that are blacked out there, that covers about 400 seats. So 400 people can't attend this Yankee Red Sox series. Players are making $7, $8, $9 million a day, and they complain a little bit, and they cost the club 400 seats.
And when I got to the park this morning, really early, about 9:15, they're lined up to get those bleacher seats, which go on sale at 9 o'clock in the morning. They were weaving all around the ballpark.
They told me they were scalping those for like $75 today. Bernie Williams takes one down low. Bernie 1 for 2. Bernie's one of those players, Susan, that plays with those glasses on all the time on a bright sunshiny day. I couldn't do that, I don't think. High fly ball, fairly deep into center field, but not deep enough. And Lewis puts it away. So the Yankees gone 1, 2, 3 here to 4th. We played 3.5. 7-2 Yanks. New York Yankees baseball is brought to you in part by Hoover. Nobody gets the dirt like Hoover. Nobody. John Valentin leading it off for the Red Sox here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Valentin 0 for 1. He bounced out to Brocious at third, his first time up.
Valentin playing third base this year because of the injury to Neri. He's turned into a pretty good third baseman. This is a guy, remember, didn't want to change from shortstop. Turned out to be a very good second baseman in the combination of Garcia Parra and Valentin, and is just as good at third.
Of course, the Red Sox really miss Garcia Parra and Naring both. I mean, what they add to this offense. High fly ball. This could be something here. Jeter shading his eyes. The wind's got it. And he stays with it to put it away. One gone.
You know, to talk about Naring, as long as you bring that up, he evidently can't even straighten that arm yet. There's Jeter. Look at the squinting there, trying to get under that. There's a very high sky, not a cloud in the sky here in Boston.
And he didn't put his glasses.
And he didn't put his glasses down.
He's got the glasses on, but he didn't put them down.
That would be tough. And he's got them flipped up now too, just like you used to wear them flipped up like that.
Mike Benjamin takes one up high. He got a base hit into center field. Came around to score one of the 2 runs by Boston in the 2nd inning. Tell you what, he's an aggressive hitter. He doesn't take many pitches.
Came into this game batting .307. Done a very nice job since Garcia Parra's been out.
He's been around a while.
There's Nomar. They were thinking of activating him today, and they pushed it back a little while. It's not quite ready yet. To get to Naring again, who's not even at the park, he evidently can't even really straighten out that right arm.
A foul back just to the right of us. And we take a look at our Toyota box score for the Red Sox. Vaughn 2 for 2. They picked up a couple of runs on 4 base hits, but they're behind by 5 here in the 4th. Watch out. That pitch got away from Cone and plunks Benjamin on the shoulder. That's the second batter that Cone has hit this afternoon.
And you can see the reaction. Look at the reaction of Cone. As soon as he throws this, he sees that he knows it's going to take off on him. No, he certainly didn't want to do that.
I think that caught more bone than anything else. It looked like it caught him on the shoulder, but it looked like it caught him like on the forearm and maybe even the bicep area.
Got to be very frustrating for David Cone not knowing where those pitches are going to go.
And Veritek swings and fouls the first pitch off the right side.
He and Saberhagen, of course, old buddies, were roommates in instructional league, and they were talking, I guess, a lot this weekend, and both of them trying to come back from very serious surgeries, not as quickly as either one of them would like.
And the breaking ball, a good one on the inside corner. Now it's 0-2 to Veritek. Well, you know, in baseball, Susan, if you have mechanical problems, if you have some kind of a problem, you have to work them out on the job. I mean, it's on the job workout. There is no chance to take any days off to try to get yourself set and ready to go.
You talked to Saberhagen. He was talking to us the other day about how he came to spring training. He was doing so well, had great life, and now his arm just feels dead going through that period. Cone the same way.
That'll be out of play off to the left side. The one great thing here at Fenway from a hitter standpoint is that there's not a whole lot of foul territory. So when you do foul one off, most of the time it finds the stands.
Did you like hitting here?
Oh,
Did you
yes.
like in this place?
I did.
Did you go the other way?
I used to like to hit here for one reason, because we used to see mostly right-handers.
Oh, of course.
A lot of no foul territory down either line, obviously. That one really got away from Cone, and that one was behind Varitek, and he hits him on a 1-2 pitch now.
There goes Stottlemyre to the phone there, and Tony Cloninger will be picking up that phone in the other end of the bullpen.
Cloninger getting his instructions on what Stottlemyre and Torrey want out of him and who they want to get up to warm up.
Now this just sails in on, actually is in behind Varitek, and you're seeing that Cone is really, looks like he's trying to muscle those pitches, doesn't he, Bobby?
Well, he is very frustrated. Mel Stottlemyre on his way to the mound now, talking about the release point. If you don't get the right release point, obviously your control is not that good.
And this is why Darryl Strawberry is taking his suspension today, so that Graham Lloyd is available and doesn't start his suspension in Boston and will be available next week. So David Cone try and get through this inning so they can get to Graham Lloyd.
And Susan, what about our story of the week?
As long as we've got a minute here, that exactly would have to be that base brawl as we see up in the screen here, and the ramifications of that still being felt. Yankees playing with 23 men today, without Darryl and without Tino Martinez. Now the injury to Tino is not from the brawl, that's from something else, but I can't imagine that helped. Maybe if he weren't as sore, maybe he wouldn't have jammed that shoulder as badly. But Darryl taking the third day of the suspension today, so that Graham Lloyd is available to pitch in Fenway Park with these lefties in the lineup, Vaughn, Jefferson, etc.
2 men on, and Lloyd, as we saw, warming up. But Cone now in front of Lou Merlone, 0-2. And he throws a high fastball by him, strikes him out, 2 gone. Only the second strikeout for Cone in the game.
There's the high fastball right by the rookie. That looks more like David Cone, but he can't do it with every pitch. Doesn't have the strength and doesn't have the consistency. You know, this has got to be so frustrating for David Cone. Such a prideful man, coming back from 2 serious injuries. This has got to be terrible for him to take.
And Darren Lewis sends one foul off to the right side. Lewis 1 for 2 today. Picked up an RBI and scored a run. Well, you saw Stottlemyre, every time we take a shot at him, when Cone is on the mound, he's on the first step of that dugout. He's got a watchful eye of him. Obviously, they're trying to pick up whatever they can to help him mechanically. And another pitch, and he's in front of Lewis, 0-2.
You know, the problem with being the manager or the pitching coach with David Cone is that if he's uncomfortable and if his shoulder is sore, he will try and find a position mechanically where it doesn't hurt, but he won't necessarily tell Stottlemyre and Torrey because he thinks he can pitch through it, and sometimes that might backfire on him.
2 gone here at the bottom of the 4th. Yankees in front 7-2. And that's hit hard in the hole. Left field. They're going to hold the runner off at third because Curtis pounced on it. And when he picked the ball up, he wasn't about, I would say, 15 steps beyond shortstop.
He looked like he was at the edge of the grass. It was almost right on that dirt there. And they're not going to take a chance on that. Now look, it goes by Jeter. Now look at Curtis coming in. He's almost at the dirt. It makes a perfect throw into Brocious. There's Lewis, gets by Brocious once again. Now watch Curtis coming in. Now there's the runner at third base. He's going to take a look, and the third base coach, Wendell Kim, says, no, stay right there.
No reason to take a chance. The bases are loaded for Darren Bragg. Bragg 0 for 2. He got robbed of a base hit back in the first inning. He hit the ball right on the nose, but Swain snagged it. There you see all the runners. And now Cone has fallen behind 2-0 to Bragg. That'll bring the crowd to life here at Fenway as Lloyd continues to warm up for the Yankees. That's out of play left side. And you know, Joe Torre, Cone has thrown a lot of pitches in the game already. He threw 26 in the first inning. He's having some problems here, has thrown a lot, but Joe Torre would like for him to get through 5 so at least he could pick up the win if the Yankees continue to score runs and end up on top. He's won 5 in a row. Hit hard, and Swain will smother it. Cone is there, and the Red Sox will leave the bases loaded here in the 4th inning. So Cone pitches out of it. The Yankees lead it 7-2.
Well, look at Fenway Park on a beautiful afternoon. The Yankees leading 7-2 as we head to the 5th inning. And between innings, David Cone on the bench getting himself out of a jam, which was much his creating by hitting a couple of batters. Looks kind of exhausted, doesn't he?
Yeah, he looks very frustrated.
Yeah.
Release points all over the place. Now, do you let him go out for that 5th, try and get through the 5th, or no?
Oh, you got to try and get him a win.
Yeah, you do.
He's going to take a drink, sit down for a while, and watch his Yankee teammates as they try and score some more runs. Here's Tim Raines, who was popped out and single, drove in a run. That was in the Yankees' 7-run third. All 7 Yankee runs coming in the 3rd inning. So it'll be Raines, Curtis, and Brosius. And Susan, I know when you were growing up here, you were a Red Sox fan. So we look at David Cone. He's trying. He looks very frustrated and exasperated.
Now, is that all for him? Is he going?
Nobody's warming up in the Yankee bullpen.
All right, he didn't have his glove with him, so maybe he's coming back.
2 strikes to count the Raines. Susan,
To answer your question, yes, I was.
Yeah.
Yes, I was. And when I was a little girl, my seats with my grandfather were in the 1st row right in back of that Red Sox on deck circle.
Oh, unbelievable. Pitch inside the Raines, 2-2. Now, a lot of frustration here in New England over the Red Sox and some of the things that have happened over the years. Did you share in that frustration?
Oh, gosh, yes. Oh, of course. When you're growing up, because it's not that they just lose. It's personally. They do it personally to you and your family.
Full count now on Raines.
There's where I used to sit. I used to sit right in here. Right, where's the test? Right in here. And the Red Sox on deck circle used to be back in here. So you literally could reach out and touch Ted Williams.
Payoff pitch to Raines is up high, and he's drawn a leadoff walk here in the 5th inning. That's New York Yankee baseball, brought to you in part by Heineken. Brewed true since 1886. Seek the truth. Hope everybody out there is enjoying a nice holiday weekend. As here is Chad Curtis, grounded out and popped out 0 for 2. Yankees trying to make it a nice holiday weekend. And pitches low. Mayhew struggling with his control.
Mayhew, a converted outfielder, actually, 26 years old, was a replacement player. Still a little bit of tension in that Red Sox clubhouse. But they saw his arm as an outfielder and said, "Have you ever pitched?" And he said no, and they tried to turn him into a pitcher, and he's turned into a pretty decent reliever.
2 balls and no strikes. That, you know, that replacement stuff was what, 3 years ago now? 3 years ago, and to me, you know, there are some that players still around doing a pretty good job, or else they wouldn't be here. First of all, the management has to feel they're going to do a job because they wouldn't want that sort of division on their ball club unless the player was able to contribute. Check of Raines at first, who still needs 2 stolen bases for 800 in his career. As Rock takes his lead, and it looks like he's lengthened it just a bit. Curtis swings, slowly rolled to the left side, off the glove of Valentin, and all hands will be safe. And looked as though if he had caught it cleanly, he had to play to at least force Raines at second base.
Oh, sure. And you don't see Valentin do that much. Look, he tries to scoop this, goes in front of Benjamin, just goes off the heel of his glove. And you don't see John Valentin do that very often. There it is once again. See, right off the heel of that glove.
So Raines is at second. And Curtis is at first on the error by the third baseman. Will bring up Scott Brosius, who has struck out and singled. Ball one on a changeup.
Has anybody noticed how Scott Brosius very quietly came in today's game, batting .331?
You know, that I hadn't been here the last 2 days. That kind of jumped out at me. Pitch is swung on and missed. Raines is going, and he has stolen third base. Number 799 of his career.
And one more to 800, and you know he's going to try and get that at some point relatively shortly. Got a great lead there. Good jump off of the lefty Mayhay. Valentin gets over, slides right underneath the tag. Look how he ducks his head underneath there, Kenny. Watch when he slides there to get the head underneath so that he doesn't get hit by Valentin.
Well, now it's runners on the corners for the Yankees. And slowly rolled foul by Brosius. Well, let's go back to the third inning, and it's been a tough day for the Red Sox third baseman. First of all, a ball off of his glove by Swaim to start the inning off. Girardi to his other side, to the right side, and by him. Knobloch with a 3-run homer. Even Valentin didn't have a shot at that one. And the Yankees immediately got 3 quick runs. They scored 4 more. As Brosius fouls a pitch off here, and the count remains a ball and 2 strikes.
You know, to get back to Brosius, remember in spring training when we all got down there and Joe Torre said to Scott Brosius, forget about your hitting, whatever you do, it's okay. We need you to catch the ball and throw the ball. Now, what does that do to a player when you say, you got no pressure, you don't have to hit?
He just relaxes.
There you go.
Has driven in 25 runs this year. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's our Yankee Toyota box score. Knobloch with 1, and that 1 was a 3-run homer. Jeter's had a couple of hits. Brosius has 1. He's now, what, 8 for his last 18. And Girardi is 2 for 2 on deck. To make that Swaim is on deck, who's had a hit and a walk. So the bottom part of the order for the Yankees today, as they have been doing all season long, Susan, getting something done.
And that's the beauty of this Yankee team, that if the top of the order doesn't get it done, the middle of the order gets it done. If the middle doesn't get it done, the bottom gets it. That's why they're winning.
Throw to first. Anybody can start something up, and the rest of the guys will finish it off.
That's right.
They've batted around 11 times this season, speaking of the Yankee lineup, including once today. That came in the 3rd inning. Threatening again here in the 5th. First and third with nobody out. Up high, and is now a full count on Scott Brosius. And you better take a look at Chad Curtis at first base. He of 7 stolen bases. On deck is Dale Swaim. Runner's not going. The pitch is fouled straight back. When you think of players like Swaim and Luis Sojo, who haven't gotten a chance to play very much, Homer Bush. Joe Torre put Homer Bush in a game in Kansas City. He got a couple of hits, scored a couple of runs. Put Swaim in because Tino's injured. Swaim's had a chance to become feel more part of the team.
Torre talking to us this morning, Kenny, about Dale Swaim, saying that the more he plays, obviously, the more he's going to hit.
Another foul ball by Brosius.
Swaim did a very good job for Pittsburgh last year because he played a lot. You play 3-4 times a week, you're going to get your swing. See, he's tall and lanky, he's got a big swing. And you're not going to be able to sit and play once every 3 weeks and go out and get hit after hit.
Capable of playing anywhere in the infield. And probably if you stuck him out in the outfield, he could give you an inning or 2.
He came up. Remember with Milwaukee?
Pitch is fouled off. Broke his leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Bounced around, went to the minor leagues.
He said that when they sent him down to the minors, he signed with Seattle, and they sent him to wherever that AAA team is there, Tacoma or one of those. He said that was the best thing that ever happened to him because he played every day, and he realized that he was never going to be the player he was, so he had to do other things, and he learned another way of playing.
Check on Curtis at first base. Yankees looking to increase a 5-run lead here in the 5th inning. And this is a big game for the Yankees. It's either 4 games in front or 6 games in front. Brocious fouls back another fastball. He's hung in there. Of course, Red Sox will soon be in Yankee Stadium.
4 games, yep. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
There's a look at the defensive setup of the Boston Red Sox. Again, center fielder Lewis playing towards right center. Pitches up high, and the bases are loaded with nobody out as Brocious has drawn a walk. So it was a walk that started this inning, then an error, another walk, and Joe Kerrigan is out to the mound.
Heard you starting to talk about Joe Kerrigan, as they call him, Super Joe here. Did a great job, obviously, in Montreal, and has really done a very nice job with this pitching staff. And you've got replacement players, you've got kids on this team. You know, you got veterans trying to come back from injuries. You have one ace, though.
And here is Dale Swaim, who has been producing. He's single, scored a run, drew a walk. Both of those coming in the 3rd inning. So now he's up here with the bases loaded and nobody out. Swaim at one time for the Brewers hit 25 home runs as their shortstop.
And was fast, great fielder, stole bases, hit for power.
Swings and fouls one just to our left. Like Swaim was the shortstop after Robin Yount.
And the shortstop before Robin Yount was
Tim Johnson.
Yeah. I knew you knew.
Well, you have to go back further than that before. Pitches Swaim, and he's behind on the count. No balls and 2 strikes.
You know, talking to Swaim, he was telling me how he comes in early, goes to the batting cage, pretends he's in game situations, pretends he's in different counts to try and keep his head in the game. Very hard for a man like that to sit on the bench day after day.
0-2 pitch. He won't chase, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Interesting, with the bases loaded and nobody out, there is nobody up in the Red Sox pen. Pitch is low, 2-2.
They're pretty thin, and they've used just about everybody in the last few days. I think he's going to take one for the team here.
They've got Toronto coming in here tomorrow and Tuesday. Pitch is swung on, and this will make it to the seats, and the count remains 2-2 on Dale Swaim.
That's the problem with this Red Sox team, and that's why people are wondering if they can keep up what they're doing. That middle of that pen is going to be very, very tough. If you can get to Tom Gordon, you're fine, but they're very tough in there.
He's been fabulous. What about not getting Pedro Martinez into the series against the Yankees? They wouldn't juggle the rotation. Pitch is hit in the air to fairly deep center field. Lewis puts the glasses down, makes the catch. Raines will tag at third, and he will score, and the Yankees now lead by 6. It's 8-2. So Dale Swaim drives in a run with a sacrifice fly, picks up his first RBI of the season on the sacrifice fly to center field.
And a lot of center fielders would have thought, let me try and throw home and show off here. I think Lewis made the right play throwing a third base. Veteran center fielder. Now, how many guys do we know that we see that and you see Raines tagging up and I'm going to try and make a big play? Meanwhile, Curtis would go to third.
Yeah, everybody else is moving around the bases. Here's Joe Girardi, who has singled twice, driven in a couple of runs, and it's a line shot to right field. It's going to be in for a base hit. And the throw will come in from Bragg. Willie Randolph is going to hold the runner at third. So Chad Curtis will stop at third base. Meanwhile, the Yankees have reloaded the bases. Joe Girardi has 3 hits in this ball game.
Also, the beauty of this Yankee team, Kenny, and here's that pitch by Mayhay. Again, the outside part of the plate. Girardi just takes it the other way. That's what you're supposed to do. Isn't that what they teach you to do?
Yeah,
Go
sure.
the other way.
This sets it up for Chuck Knobloch. And what did he do yesterday? Hit his second career grand slam.
Fourth grand slam for the Yankees this season.
Pitches up high, ball one. Still no action in the Red Sox bullpen. See, I know Tino's hit one. Darryl Strawberry's hit one. Swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch. The count is 1-1. And Bernie Williams. So those are the 4 grand slam hitting Yankees this year. Pitch is fouled back by Knobloch, and here's what he did yesterday with the bases loaded. Kind of went against the traffic, didn't he?
Guess he did. Into the Red Sox bullpen. Second career grand slam for Chuck Knobloch. And he was going to be my player of the week even before today's 3-run shot. Because before today's game, Knobloch 7 for 16 his last 5 games, been on base 13 times.
Swings and smash, almost hit Chad Curtis, a foul ball. That's why you're told to lead off in foul territory, because if the ball hits you, it's a foul ball. Just missed him. Here's a good look from the foul line camera.
All right, you see Valentin going in. Oh, nice. Nice reflexes.
It's amazing how quick you can move when.
It's a good thing he's not taller.
That ball will hit Knobloch and will force in another run. That's Knobloch's 4th RBI today, but it's a tough way to get it. Well, we've had several players hit by pitches in this game. And Knobloch will pick up an RBI, and it's now 9-2 Yankees.
And now Jimmy Williams has seen enough, and the heck was trying to save the bullpen for Toronto. And in comes Chad Curtis. Well, you hear the fans booing, but you know the last thing they wanted to do is hit Chuck Knobloch and force in a run. Hit him on the shoulder, ball sailed up and in.
Bases remain loaded. It's Derek Jeter to the plate with 1 out. Ball 1.
See Knobloch, if he's hurt at all, he's not going to show you. He's a tough guy. No, he's not even going to touch that place.
Well, it's an RBI. You have to feel good about that. At least I would. Jeter checks his swing. 2 balls and no strikes, and the Yankee fans in force here at Fenway Park. Let's go Yankees, followed by boos from the Fenway faithful. Jeter with a couple of hits. Hitting .335. Ooh, he was going for it. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Here's a look at the runners. Brosius at third, Girardi at second, Knobloch at first. Pitch is inside. 3 balls and a strike. This is all Mayhay. He's got Paul O'Neill on deck. But there's still nobody warming in the Red Sox bullpen.
Well, who was Jimmy Williams talking to on the phone?
Might have said it's called the Pawtucket. Jeter swings and misses, and the count has gone full, 3-2.
I think you said, who can we warm up? And Dick Pole said nobody?
Maybe he asked Dick Pole to warm up. His former pitcher.
That's right. Ex-Red Sox pitcher. There he is. No, this Jimmy.
Yeah, it's Jimmy Williams, who was wearing out some sunflower seeds. Jeter swings and lifts a foul ball. This is the wind will get it and drifted into the seats, out of play. So the Yankees, they can pull one out here. The only series they have lost this year was that first week in Anaheim. Outside of that, they have gotten the job done. They've split 3 series, but all the others have gone into the win column. David Cohn getting his typical run support, 8.5 runs per game. 9-2, the Yankees lead. Pitch to Jeter, once again fouled out of play. Long run, but the wind will get this one and drifted back about 15 rows back. Susan, you were talking about being a Red Sox fan, all the frustration. Years ago when I was in the league, I felt as though you'd come into Boston and the Red Sox, for some reason, they had good ball clubs, but they weren't having fun doing it. They weren't having fun playing. As you look at Jim Rice and at those ball clubs we played in the 70s and the early 80s, and Jim Rice was a big part of it. Jeter swings, solid shot. It's going to be a base hit. The Yankees are going to pick up 2 more runs. The ball is bobbled. And now the Yankees lead it 11-2. Derek Jeter with his 3rd hit of the afternoon.
And Kenny, the beauty of what Jeter is doing is that this year really he is hitting the ball where it is pitched every single time. Now watch this pitch from Mayhew now down the middle of the plate. He takes it, just goes right with it, lines it into center field. That's a beautiful piece of hitting. Look at this once again down the middle of the plate, a little low, doesn't try and do too much with it, just lines it. What a shot.
Well, the Yankees have now scored 4 times here in the 5th inning. Here's the location of the pitch, and look at
that. He just takes it, and you're shaking your head and smiling as a hitter, isn't it? That's what you're supposed to do.
Well, exactly. I mean, he's not trying to do too much on a 3-2 pitch. Hits it right back where it came from, through the middle. Had fouled off some tougher pitches. Gets his hit, picks up 2 RBIs. He turns a pretty good day into a great day with 3 hits, and is probably going to hit again in this game. Here's Paul O'Neill. Finally, some action in the Red Sox bullpen. Chases a pitch, swings and misses, strike 1. O'Neill's had a hit and scored a run. Everybody in the Yankee lineup has scored at least 1 run, with the exception of Bernie Williams, who is on deck.
There's Jim Corsi, Newton, Massachusetts native, my hometown.
How far is Newton from here?
7-8 miles.
Okay. You didn't have far to go to Fenway Park.
Just took the little streetcar right down.
Ball and a strike on O'Neill. Jimmy Williams looking on. Ball 2.
You know, you get back to those teams of the 70s that you were talking about, Rice and Lynn, of course, before he left, and Yastrzemski, and well, Fisk was a real New Englander, but the other teams, you're right, there were 20. That's where the 25 players, 25 cabs, 25 players came from. It was that group.
Yeah, I remember that. O'Neill swings. There's a fly ball to center field. Tagging up his Knobloch. He will trot home the score. 12-2 Yankees. Sacrifice fly for O'Neill. Give him his 30th RBI of the year. And for the 2nd inning today and the 12th time this year, the Yankees have batted around as Bernie Williams will come to the plate. What an explosive ball club.
See, now he goes over the plate and gets this ball. Doesn't really try and pull it, but stays with it, goes out to center field, gets the sacrifice fly, another run, 5 runs this inning, 12-2.
It's not so much who has had hits and scored runs today. Only 2 players in the lineups have not driven in a run. Bernie Williams. There's a wild pitch. Jeter's going to go down to second. Anything else can go wrong for the Red Sox. And Chad Curtis, the only 2 who haven't driven in a run. So it's a team-wide offensive explosion for the Yankees that's been witnessed by Jimmy Williams. It's kind of fun baseball. You know, the Yankees hold on, win this one, have a nice flight to Chicago, and see what they can do with the White Sox for 3 days.
Who have just fired their pitching coach and their hitting coach yesterday, and Nardi Contreras.
He's back.
He's back. Doesn't take long, does it, this league?
The thing to notice there is that Jerry Manuel and Nardi Contreras worked together with the Montreal Expos organization. And that's why he hired him as a new pitching coach. And Von Joshua, who's a pretty good hitter in his day. Bernie swings at a changeup and doesn't get it.
Now, were the old pitching coach and the hitting coach not his hire?
No, they weren't. They were with
okay.
Bevington.
All right.
Ron Jackson and Mike Pazin. 2-1 on Bernie Williams. Foul behind Willie Randolph at third.
Well, since the Seattle bullpen and their pitching staff didn't get any better, I guess it wasn't Marty's fault.
No, they haven't, have they? Came on for a while there. Now they've sunk back into oblivion.
Did you see Randy Johnson's comments in the paper? His agent saying that he wasn't having any fun and he doesn't have the fire in his eyes and he wants to be traded. And Lou Piniella saying when somebody signs a 5-year contract, they sign a 5-year contract, not 4.5. And that's my message to Randy Johnson.
In other words, finish this off and then you can go where you want.
That's right.
Full count on Bernie Williams. Payoff pitch, and it's grounded foul. 2 explosive innings for the Yankees here at Fenway Park this afternoon. 7th inning, make that the 3rd inning. They scored 7 times, and now here in the 5th they have scored 5 more. Souvenir for a happy young fan. Maybe not so happy. He's got a Red Sox hat on.
He's smiling. He doesn't care. He's got a ball.
Bernie swings a smash. It's going through into left field for a base hit. They're going to wave Jeter home. Here's the throw from O'Leary. It is cut off. Jeter scores, and it's 13-2 Yankees. Bernie Williams has now driven in a run, and Chad Curtis is the only Yankee without an RBI. And Jimmy Williams out of the dugout. That's going to be it for Ron Mayhew.
And that's as fast as we've seen him walk out of the dugout. Another one right down the middle of the plate. And he just grounds it into left field. Didn't really have a great swing at it. Pitch from Mayhew right over the middle of the plate. Another run scored. 13-2.
Jeter got to third, and it looked to me like he was thinking that Willie Randolph might hold him up because he was single to left field, but turned him loose and he scored. We'll be back. 2 outs here in the 5th. It's all Yankees. Look at the scoreboard, and it tells you that it's all Yankees 13-2. You might want to catch all the action when the Boston Red Sox come to the stadium for 4 games on Thursday, May 28th, and Friday, May 29th. Both of those games will start at 7:30. Then on Saturday, May 30th at 1 o'clock, and Sunday at May 31st at 1:30. On Sunday the 31st, all fans will receive a Yankee cap, compliments of dime savings bag. Tickets are available now at the stadium through Ticketmaster, the Yankee Clubhouse stores, and on the web at www.yankees.com. Here's the veteran Jim Corsi. Susan mentioned he's from her hometown of Newton, Massachusetts.
He's putting on a few pounds, Mr. Corsi. Since he was with Oakland, started his career. He's been around a lot.
A lot of injuries during his career.
Pitched very well for La Russa and the Oakland A's before he came here to Boston. Wanted to finish out his career at home.
Here's a look at Bernie Williams over at first, and now Tim Raines to the plate. Raines started this inning with a base on ball, so this is his 2nd at bat. He came around to score the first of 6 Yankee runs here in the 5th. Corsi's first pitch is in there for a called strike.
Of course, he doesn't throw all that hard. Good movement on his pitches, and he throws ball over the plate, which is why he'll always get a job.
A ball and a strike, but as I mentioned, at one time he threw pretty hard.
Yeah.
It's all these shoulder injuries that he's had. I saw him leave the mound here a couple of years ago with a rib cage injury, and that kept him out for quite a while.
It's interesting to talk to pitchers who started out as fireballers and have injuries and have to relearn how to pitch.
Ball 2 to Raines.
It's a big psychological thing that goes with that. Frank Tanana used to talk about it absolutely brilliantly when you realize that you can't do it anymore and what it does to you and how you relearn.
Raines fouls it back. I faced Tanana when he threw hard, and he was no fun. And after he injured his arm and learned how to pitch, change speeds, move the ball around, he still was no fun. You know, you figure a guy loses 5 miles an hour off his fastball. Now it's your turn to hit.
Well, but it's when he made that adjustment. When he pitched here for the Red Sox, he didn't have that stuff, but thought he did and got hammered.
Still 2-2 on Raines.
And then, of course, he wasn't here. They went out to California and had that discussion with himself and relearned how to pitch, and then turned into the second Frank.
Yeah, when it's he and Nolan Ryan back-to-back early, and you're trying to keep from striking out 6 times in 2 nights. Raines takes one up high, and the count is full, 3-2. Yankees with 13 runs on 13 hits. Chad Curtis see if he can hit again here in the 5th inning. Bernie Williams goes and pitches outside, ball 4, and Chad Curtis will hit again. Raines has walked for the 2nd time this inning. And the Yankee beat keeps going on. Chad Curtis reached on an error. Now remember, he's the only Yankee without a run batted in, and now he has a runner in scoring position with Bernie Williams at second base. There's Raines at first at the bottom of your picture. Ball strike. Well, after losing the first game of the series in a tough style, the Yankees had a 4-0 lead. The Red Sox rallied and won 5-4. The Yankees have come right back, hammered them yesterday 12-3, and lead 13-2 here today. A ball and a strike on Curtis.
So much for any losing streak. That's the beauty of this team, Kenny. And you go into that clubhouse and they lose a game. Okay, they lose a game. It's over. You come out the next day and they don't intend to lose 2 in a row.
Off-speed pitch, slowly rolled to short. Benjamin for the force, and that's going to get the Red Sox out of it. Finally, here in the top of the 5th, 6 runs for the Yankees. And as we head to the bottom of the 5th, 13-2 New York. Bottom of the 5th inning, time to check out our upcoming schedule, our upcoming Delta Airlines schedule. Tomorrow at 6:30 on MSG, the Yankees are in Chicago to take on the White Sox. At 7:30 on Tuesday and Wednesday on MSG. Then the Red Sox come to Yankee Stadium Thursday and Friday on the WB11 at 7:30. Saturday on Fox at 1 o'clock. And on Sunday at 1 o'clock on MSG. David Cone will face Mo Vaughn here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Vaughn is 2 for 2. There's a little lady wants to say happy birthday to her dad. Hi to the people in Lake Placid, New York. Dale Swaim on the backhand will throw to Cone covering, and he retires Mo Vaughn for the first time this afternoon.
Nice play by Dale Swaim. Show you a little bit of that infield prowess. There's a pitch by Cone up a little bit. Mo gets on top of the ball. Nice stop by Dale Swaim. Waits for Cone to get over there. Leads him with the throw.
I like these shots.
Yeah, I
right
do
here.
too.
Just you can see Swaim. Nice play.
Nice
Gets
play.
down on it. And then that accurate throw you were talking about, leading David Cone perfectly for the out. Reggie Jefferson has struck out and lifted a lazy fly ball to Bernie Williams in center. He's 0 for 2. Jefferson has hit so well against right-handers that the Red Sox from time to time will play him against lefties, but that same type of hitting against righties hasn't really translated to being an everyday player. Pitches up high. Ball is 2 balls, no strikes.
One of those hitters that has found a home using the wall as a left-hander. Troy O'Leary, another one.
Good low ball hitter hits a low ball to first baseman Swaim, who this time is going to take it by himself. So David Cone with 2 up and 2 down. David Cone has not had a 1-2-3 inning in this ball game today, and he's retired the first 2 Red Sox here in the 5th. Here's that shot.
There's
again.
our favorite shot again, right to Swaim. Gets in front of it. He's going to take it himself. Says to Cone, save your energy. One more gets you through 5. So you're glad he's able to contribute now. You know, he's wanted to so much.
Troy O'Leary. Ball strike.
How about that game on Fox next Saturday afternoon? Their first game, Boston, New York. Pedro Martinez, Hideki Aravu. How happy are they?
Wow. I know I'll watch it. A ball and a strike at O'Leary. And a looper, and it's going to be a base hit. A broken bat single for O'Leary. And David Cone will not have a 1-2-3 inning here in the 5th.
You know, it's interesting, that hit exactly, Kenny, is what Jim Rice has been teaching Troy O'Leary to do, to just get the bat on the ball. Now, don't forget, this is a guy who was released by the Brewers. Just get the bat on the ball, break your bat, do what you can. You're strong enough that it'll get over the infielder's head. Jim Rice has done that. That's the hitting coach, of course, for Boston.
I had a chance to talk to Jimmy before the game, and he was saying that he tells all his hitters, as John Valentin's at the plate, you don't want to miss the mistake pitches. Those are the ones you got to hit hard, and that's what he did so well during his career. And he says, when you're a hitter and you like a ball in a certain area, don't miss that one. That's the one you want. Fly ball hit in the air to right field. O'Neill is drifting back just in front of the warning track with the glasses on. He makes the catch, and that's going to be it for the Red Sox here in the 5th inning. David Cohn allows a hit, just one runner, and at the end of 5, look at it, 13-2. They lead it 13-2, and fans, you don't want to miss one of America's favorite movies, brought to you musically and magically to life. It's The Wizard of Oz at the theater at Madison Square Garden, with Mickey Rooney as the Wizard and Eartha Kitt as the Wicked Witch. This limited engagement ends May 31st. Tickets are going fast. Call 212-307-4111 to charge by phone. Mickey Rooney and Eartha Kitt.
I can't imagine Eartha Kitt as the Wicked Witch. I mean, she's so gorgeous. What did they do to her?
But she's a versatile actress. You know, that's what all about being an actress is.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, play anything.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, you did. Here is Scott Brosius, who's driven in a run, scored 2. Facing the veteran Jim Corsi.
I asked Brosius yesterday, how do you like your first Yankee Red Sox series? He said, this is incredible.
There's a ball and a strike. I can imagine that coming from the Oakland A's, who were last in the league in attendance last year, not going anywhere, and now to the Yankees, like the opposite end of the spectrum. Fouls the ball off.
That's right.
A ball and 2 strikes.
He was talking yesterday. He said, all our fans are here. Yeah. And they're doing our cheers in their park.
Hey, Amtrak.
Yeah, it's terrific. Well, it's also the schools.
Yeah, that's true.
Half of Boston University is filled with New Yorkers.
So this is a series made for them. Of course, he's 1-2 pitch is lined over Mo Vaughn. It's going to be a base hit for Scott Brosius. Darren Bragg gets the ball in quickly. Brosius with his 2nd hit of the afternoon, 14th for the Yankees in the game.
And that's something that Brosius probably would not have been able to do last year, and that's take the ball the other way in the outside part of the plate. He would have tried to do too much. Look at this. It's going to be outside, just takes it low, just meet it, go the opposite way. Another hit. Simple as that.
Yeah, that's breaking it down. Here's Swaim, who's had a hit, walk, sacrifice fly, driven in a run, scored 1, ball 1.
Did you like to hit here?
Oh, this is
both sides of the plate.
Yeah.
How many home runs?
I tried flying in a day early to take extra batting practice. Pitch is lined foul into the Yankee dugout. I don't recall the number of home runs, but I know I hit well in this ballpark. And it was just one of those places like the King Dome. You felt like when you got up here, as they say, you were already in scoring position. It's one of these places, it's an offensive ballpark. You're going to score runs. Just hope the Red Sox didn't score more. Swaim bounces one to Mo Vaughn. Vaughn with the throw accurately to second for 1. Back to Corsi. Double play. Second time today we've seen a 3-6-1 double play. This time it's the Red Sox turn to turn it.
See, Mo get in perfect position of that good play over to short, and then back once again. Of course, he gets over there.
Well, you're taught as a pitcher, when the ball is hit to the right side, you head for first base. Here's Joe Girardi, and we've seen a big-time catcher traded this week, and Mike Piazza.
Mike Piazza, who had his first hit as a Met yesterday. And that, of course, is a tremendous story, particularly in New York. George Steinbrenner has been here all weekend, and when that trade was made, remember we talked to George about did the Yankees want him, et cetera, et cetera. Actually, Dave Dombrowski called and asked Brian Cashman if he wanted him. Now, George said, is this the guy that somebody said, is this the guy that got away? And George said, he's not the one that got away, because I don't remember casting for him.
pitch is fouled off.
Dave Dombrowski actually called General Manager Brian Cashman and said, we've had 5 or 6 teams call us about Piazza.
What do you think? Yeah.
You haven't called. Brian said, yes, okay.
Well, maybe it goes back to the quote from Joe Torre, who said when Piazza was originally traded from the Dodgers to the Marlins, I like our catching the way it is.
You have a 25-year-old, there's Brian Cashman, 25-year-old switch hitting catcher in Jorge Posada, and a great veteran in Joe Girardi. You don't mess that up.
That is now full 3-2. Posada has started 23 games this year, and Girardi is starting his 20th today. So
it's pretty close.
Yep.
See, Torre is doing this right. You usually see Girardi when David Cohn is on the mound. Torre really got rid of any kind of controversy that could have been with Girardi and Posada.
Or in spring training. Ground ball is short for Mike Benjamin. A throw to first, and the Yankees go relatively quietly here in the top of the 6th inning. Jim Corsi gets him out. We've played 5½, 13-2 Yankees. 13-2. The Yankees lead the Red Sox, bottom of the 6th inning here at Fenway Park. Join Walt, Clyde Frazier, Willis Reed, Bernard King, and many others on Thursday, June 4th for the Valerie Funds Celebrity Sports Auction to benefit kids with cancer and blood disorders. Enjoy a night of dinner, autographs, and fun, and see some of the best in NBA history while supporting 3,000 children treated by the Valerie Fund each year. For more information, call 1-800-8-VALERIE. New second baseman for the Yankees. Chuck Knobloch's day is done. That's Homer Bush.
Homer Bush gets to play at Fenway Park. Get a little taste of this Yankee-Red Sox rivalry.
Here's Mike Benjamin. 2 years ago with the San Francisco Giants, as he fouls the ball back, it's going over our heads and out of play. He had a few days in the stretch of his career that were just outstanding. He was 3 for 20 on the season on June the 10th. On June the 11th, he went 4 for 6. On June 13th, he went 4 for 5. And here he lines out to Swain for out number 1 in the 6th inning. Then on June 14th, he went 6 for 7. He raised his average. He was 3 for 20. Raised his average to 447 in about 4 days. And he tied a major league record for 10 hits in 2 games. And he ended up hitting 220 on the season. Here's Jason Varitek. Ground ball to the right side. Homer Bush off of his glove and on into right field for a hit. So Varitek picks up a hit off of David Cohn here in the 6th inning.
Varitek, still very young catcher, came over in that Seattle trade. You should see Homer Bush now.
Homer flexing that thumb. I don't know if he injured it on the dive. It looks like he's going to be okay. Flexing,
yeah, there it is. I think he might have hit that dirt there.
Here is Lou Merlone, who was know where Framingham is?
Yes, I do. It's right next to Newton.
Oh, okay. All right.
Youngster who said that he's been waiting for a Red Sox-Yankee series since the day he was born.
And he lifts the fly ball to the infield. Going back is Bush, calling for it, and the Yankee second baseman has it. So with 2 outs and a man on first, let's take a look and see how the pitchers have done this afternoon. Our New York Marriott Marquee matchup. Brett Saberhagen, 2 2/3, 8 hits, 7 earned runs, a couple of strikeouts, no walk. David Cohn has worked 5 2/3, 7 hits, allowed a run, struck out 2, and hasn't walked anybody.
Now, and David seems to be getting stronger as the game is going on.
Certainly I'd like to see that as he has Lewis foul the ball off. Now David Cohn, the furthest he has gone in any game this year is 6 1/3 innings. And now the big lead today. He went 6 1/3 against Detroit in a victory, 6 1/3 against Texas in a win. Ball and a strike on Lewis. Had a no decision in his last start against Baltimore. It was a game that the Yankees came back and won 9-5.
Went 6 innings there.
Upstairs. So you'd like to see him finish off strong, maybe another inning or two. He's got a big lead. Pitch is hit solidly towards left center. Bernie Williams running hard, will not get to it. It's over his head and off the wall. Varitek is rounding third. They're waving him home. Here's the throw to the plate. Girardi has the ball. The tag, and Varitek is out at the plate. With the team down 13-2, Jimmy Williams sees a man thrown out of the plate in a perfect relay from Bernie Williams to Derek Jeter to Joe Girardi. Thanks, Susan. Bobby Mercer will be back in a minute. 13-2, Yankees.
Darren Bragg.
Well, back at Fenway, top of the 7th inning, 13-2. Bobby Mercer, welcome back, Bobby, along with Ken Singleton. That was a distinct no-no, Kenny, when Varitek was thrown out at home plate, being behind 13-2.
Yeah, you certainly want to hold him up. He doesn't have good speed to begin with.
Yeah.
And the Yankees made a perfect relay. Bernie Williams with an excellent throw to Derek Jeter, and Jeter with that strong arm. The ball was waiting on Varitek when he got to the plate.
Number 22, Homer Bush.
Homer Bush will bat after going in to play second base in the last inning for Knobloch. So Bush comes to the plate for the very first time. And the pitch is swung on and missed. 13-2. We'll take another look at it.
Look at the relay. One hop to Jeter, and Jeter one hop to Joe Girardi. So two hops, and Varitek is out.
Wasn't even close.
Nope.
And that's out of play.
There's another.
Bush has, we'll take another look at it here from a different angle.
Bernie played that ball well off the wall. Yeah, and got it to Jeter, and Jeter did the rest. Well, one hop, perfect throw to Girardi, and yeah, inning's over.
He knew it. Jimmy Leyritz now playing first base for Boston. They've made a couple of changes. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It's Midre Cummings who takes over in right field. And Darren Bragg goes from right to left.
And Homer Bush with a little liner quickly over is Benjamin to make the play. So one gone. Tell you what, I think the Yankees got a steal when they threw Homer Bush in that Arabu trade. I know he doesn't get a chance to play a whole lot now with Knobloch over here, but he's a fine young looking player.
He has good speed, can steal a base in a pinch running situation, can play an excellent second. A little bit of short if you want to give Jeter some time off.
Hey, is the sky the limit for this young man here, Derek Jeter? He is 3 for 4 this afternoon. He scored 2 runs, 2 RBIs. His average now up to 339. Yankees lead it 13-2. Another blowout. Valentin at third, throwing out Jeter. 2 gone here in the 7th inning. That'll bring up O'Neill. Boy, these types of games here, and I know you've been in a lot of blowouts yourself, but
sometimes on the wrong end.
Yeah, well, I know, but psychologically, you really gotta really keep yourself focused. You can make some stupid outs that will cost you, throughout the year, making some ground outs, swinging some bad pitches, and just because you're not focused.
Well, you got to take every at bat and try to make the most of it, not give any away. You got, as you said, you got a big lead. There's nobody on right now. The tendency is to think maybe I'll go for a home run here.
That'll be out of play off the left side. I got to tell you, in the early 70s when we played here, we were really in a rebuilding program, and the New York Yankees, and I think we went 3 years without winning a game here at Fenway. And sometimes we were out like 16-2, 4 early in the game, kind of like this is here. End up losing 17-16.
This is one of those places like Wrigley Field. You don't have enough runs. Coors Field.
Well, we take a look at the Yankees Toyota box score, and 14 base hits up and down that lineup there. And you could just add 13 runs to it. Jeter 3 for 5, Girardi 3 for 4. Of course, Knobloch had another big home run. He is now resting up so he could take off to Chicago with the Yankees after this game is over with. And how about the play of Dale Swaim at first base and what he has done with the bat today too. Joe Torre along with the snatcher. Chris Chambliss, the hitting coach.
Snatcher.
Everybody's got a nickname of some sorts. They used to call me Golden Boy. No, not Golden Boy. That's not right.
That was Sammy Davis Jr.
Yeah. Used to call me the Black Cloud is what they used to call me, really. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the 7th. Way up high, so Corsi will run the count to 3-2. Well, we've gotten a chance to see this Red Sox bullpen, and so far the Red Sox bullpen hasn't shown a whole lot to the Yankees after Tom Gordon out there.
Here's the Yak. Remember him from days ago when he was starting for the Red Sox.
I may be the only guy in this ball. Well, you.
Yeah.
2 of us. We may be the only 2 in this ballpark that got a chance to hit off of Eckersley when he was a starter for the Red Sox.
And with the Cleveland Indians, too.
Yeah. All I remember about those days is that he used to throw the ball hard, a little sinker, run away from me, and he had long hair. He had that long, glowing blonde hair that used to blow in the wind. Another foul.
O'Neill's turning this into ball day for the fans beyond in the left field side. Fouling off several tough pitches.
Good pitch by Corsi. Gets at the inside corner. Yankees are gone here in the top of the 7th inning, but they've got the big 13-2 lead. Urzioni, and you may recognize him. He was the captain of the U.S. hockey team back in 1980 when you guys defeated the Russians. I mean, what a dramatic hockey game that was.
Yeah, that was a nice time. Long time ago, but a nice time.
Now tell me.
A little more exciting than.
Now you're a Red Sox fan?
Yes, I'm a big Red Sox.
Are you really?
Yeah. It's a frustrating day to day.
Is that right? Well, we'll talk a little bit more to Mike, especially when we get into his golf game. But right now, the Yankees, you're at the bottom of the 7th inning, lead at 13-2. So David Cone is gone and Graham Lloyd is in. So Kenny Lloyd will get some work before he serves his suspension tomorrow. First batter is Darren Bragg. Now you also, Mike, you do some work with Boston University. You telecast and broadcast their hockey games, right?
Yeah, I do their hockey games and also end up working at the university. I'm the director of development for university athletics, and actually my office is about 150 yards right from here, from Fenway Park. So it's kind of nice for me to drive over and park the car in my own spot and walk over to the game. And you know, it's a little disappointing. It was a big series, I think, for the Red Sox. Not the most important series, but early in the year, I think this team liked to kind of measure themselves against some of the top teams, and obviously, you know, they need a little more work. But I don't quite think they're quite as good a team as the New York Yankees. I think the Yankees have a lot more depth, and especially in the bullpen, especially with their pitching. And if the Red Sox can make it exciting, I think being a big Red Sox fan, all you're really looking for is, you know, come September, if they're in the hunt and maybe make a run at the playoff or a wild card spot, then it makes for a good year for them.
Jimmy Leyritz batting for the first time, delivers a base hit into center field. So the former Yankee, who is normally the designated hitter.
He went out and got that pitch out over the plate, stroked it right back through by Jeter. Jeter was playing in the pull ball, and Leyritz gets a base hit through the middle.
He's hit real well for the Red Sox this year, but they seem to not have much confidence in him when they're playing right-handed hitters, right-handed pitchers.
I know one thing. Leyritz hit a big home run for the Yankees back in 1996 in Game 4 when he hit that home run off of Wohlers. Yankees went on to win the World Championship. Reggie Jefferson, the batter, he's 0 for 3. I'm sure you've been asked this 100,000 times, but what was it like beating the Russians at Lake Placid back in 1980?
Well, you know, I think at the time, obviously, it was a very important moment and a big moment, and very special moment. But you know, we still had another game to play. You know, we still had to play Finland on a Sunday morning, and if we didn't beat Finland, then the Soviet game was, you know, just a great win, but not the real win. And we really needed to come out the next day and play well against Finland. But looking back now, 18 years later, it was as you well know, you were part of championship teams, and I think it's a very special moment to know that you're part of something like that.
It's Tim Wakefield warming up in the Red Sox bullpen. I don't know if he's coming in this game, but the fact that now they use players from the NHL and professionals in the Olympics, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I wasn't real, you know, I'm not a big fan of the pros being in the games. I think by allowing the pros in, we've taken away a lot of the dreams of a lot of our young kids.
Yeah.
But I'm also a realist, too, and I understand the Olympic Games of 1998 are very different than the Olympic Games of the 80s and 70s and 60s. And, you know, I think with corporate sponsorships and the cost of to put an Olympic Games on, the TV rights, the revenue that is shared and generated, probably most people would rather see the professionals in there playing. So it was a little unfortunate, especially this year with the hockey team, because I really thought they had a chance to medal. I don't know if they can win a gold medal. That's still difficult to do with the countries being so good, but I was very, you know, surprised that they didn't finish in the top 3, and that was kind of disappointing.
Disappointing to them too, obviously.
Yes, it was. You know, I've talked to some of the players. They went over there with expectations of, you know, obviously winning the whole thing, especially after the success they had at the World Cup. And you know, maybe we learn a little more and how much it takes and what it takes in order to win a medal in the Olympic Games.
Jefferson with some new lumber. And a high chopper. Bush will put the tag on Leyritz. Maybe he does it. He throws back to Brocious, and then Brocious, or check that, Swain throws it down to Jeter, and he puts the tag on Leyritz. So it turns into a double play. Mike, nice seeing you here in Boston. We're seeing the CPT tour.
It's just about the way the game went.
All right, buddy. We'll be back. What a heck of a play. Now he's got a couple of options. He takes the option to try to put the tag on Leyritz. Nice move by Leyritz. He knows he still has a chance to throw the runner out at first, and that puts it as a tag play by Jeter, and they complete a double play. For a guy who doesn't play very often, that was a heads-up smart play by Homer Bush.
Getting Leyritz to get down on the ground, so it'd take him time to get up and head for second. Ground ball is short. Benjamin is going to throw out Bernie Williams for the first out here in the 8th inning, and we have a new pitcher in the ball game for the Boston Red Sox, and it was the man who started the opening game of this series on Friday night. That's Tim Wakefield. And Bobby, he worked how many innings on Friday night?
6 2/3 innings on Friday night. So this is a la Wilbur Wood. You know, these knuckleballers, they don't take a whole lot out of their shoulders when they throw that knuckleball. So
it's to Tim Raines as a ball, so he's going to save the bullpen.
He'll save the bullpen.
Raines has singled, walked a couple of times, stolen a base, driven in a run. Call strike on the knuckleball, 1-1. So Wilbur Wood every once in a while would save the White Sox bullpen, come out of the pen after.
He pitched a doubleheader one time.
Yeah, he did.
At Yankee Stadium, lost both games. He's taking an 0 for 2.
That's taking 1 for the club, or taking 2 for the club. Raines with a little smile on his face. Ball is fouled. Jose Cardinal will handle it. So speaking of taking 2 losses, Joe Kerrigan, the pitching coach for the Red Sox, his first 2 major league wins in a doubleheader in St. Louis.
Well, he knows what it's like, too.
Yeah, came out of the bullpen in the first game, won it. Out of the bullpen in the second game, won that one, too. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Raines.
And speaking of the bullpen, Willie Banks getting some work in down there. Maybe we'll see Willie for an inning.
Raines checked his swing and is hit by the pitch. And let's see what the call is here. Is it a foul ball, or is Raines going to head down there? It looks like he's walking towards first. And hit by the knuckleball. You know, he was smiling just a minute ago. He's not smiling right now.
Well, you can see just how the knuckleball darts and turns and does all kinds of different things. That just darted right in on the hands of Raines. And it looks like it catches him right on the right, like the right pinky or the bottom of the right hand. Gene Monahan, the head trainer, out to talk to Raines. Raines is all right.
Gene's been busy the last couple of days with Tino Martinez.
Number 28.
Well, Gene Monahan, he is one of the biggest racing fans. He's the biggest racing nut in the world. Of course, the Indianapolis 500 is coming up. And he wanted me to mention that if anybody has a tape of the Indianapolis 500, he'd like to have it at Yankee Stadium. So you can send it to him in care of Gene Monahan, New York Yankees.
Here is Chad Curtis.
He runs a big pool, you know. You get to pick your driver and your car.
Ground ball, the third. Valentin. Second for one. In the dirt. Scooped out by Laird's for the double play. And the Red Sox get out of it here in the top of the 8th inning. The Yankees failed to score. We played 7.5. Tim Wakefield out of the bullpen. It's 13-2. 13-2 Yankees. Bottom of the 8th inning here at Fenway Park. A look at Dale Swain, who is the author of our Hoover pickup of the game. This came back in the 5th inning. And it was Mo Vaughn at the plate. Watch the nice stop. Backhand. Then the throw. The accurate throw to David Cohn for the putout. So Dale Swain with our Hoover pickup of the game.
Hard to pick out a play on Dale Swain. He's made quite a few good plays. Willie Banks, the new pitcher. 10 in the 3rd innings pitch. He has given up 14 hits. It has not been vintage Willie Banks here in 1998. He has struggled almost every time out. So I know that Willie feels that each and every time that Joe Torre goes to him, whether it's a blowout game or whatever, he's got to try to start building that confidence up in his manager again. So it's a little bit different for Banks coming into a 13-2 game. He's got to stay focused, and he's got to try to work and do as good as he can to get these Red Sox hitters out.
And right now, going to the bottom of the 8th inning, he'll face O'Leary, Valentin, and Benjamin. He'll make that Mitri Cummings will come to the plate. Former Pittsburgh Pirate and Philadelphia Philly pitches up and in for a ball. Cummings has had some big hits for the Red Sox off the bench. He had a big home run in Detroit to win a ball game earlier this year. The Red Sox rallied to win. Ground ball, Swain by him and into right field. That's going to be a base hit.
Number 13.
As we look at Cummings at first.
John.
Get your tickets for the next Yankee homestand. We mentioned that the Red Sox are coming to town for 4. You can see the number on your screen. It's not only the Red Sox. It's Chicago coming in, Tampa Bay, the first time the Yankee fans can see the expansion ball club, and the Florida Marlins. All those teams will be in on the next Yankee homestand.
See the minor league club of the Florida Marlins. One thing they have done is that they've beefed up their minor league players.
Well, they've picked up a lot of prospects in these deals. Here is John Valentin. All strike. 0-2 on Valentin. He's looking for his first hit of the afternoon. Valentin had 47 doubles last year. That led the American League. There's a lot of trade talk involving Valentin when he had to leave shortstop for Nomar Garciaparra. First he was hesitant. Hits one hard, and it's going to be fair to the corner. A hanging curveball touched by a fan, and it's going to be ruled a ground rule double for Valentin. And there's another reason why he leads the league in doubles. Boston fans help him out.
Besides that, what a great place to hit doubles. And Willie Banks coming in, and the first 2 men hit the ball hard off the Banks.
There's Valentin at second. Makes his home in New Jersey. Of course, Willie Banks from New Jersey. I think Mike Benjamin will step in. Ball hit into right field. It's going to drop in for a base hit. Red Sox are going to score 1 here as Valentin will be held at third as O'Neill gets the ball back in. So the first 3 men to face Willie Banks get hits here in the 8th inning. Give Benjamin an RBI, and it's now 13-3.
One thing about Mike Benjamin, he waits for nothing. If that ball is somewhere near the strike zone, he is swinging at it.
Scott Hatteberg.
Scott Hatteberg will come up and hit. Took over for Jason Varitek. Here's his seasonal numbers. First and third, nobody out. It's ball one from Willie Banks. Red Sox have had at least one hit in every inning. Pitches up high for a ball. They've left runners on in every inning but the third and the seventh. In each of those innings, the Yankees turned a double play to get out of it. Here's a look at the runners. Ball is hit to swing. Juggles momentarily to Jeter for one. On to Willie Banks covering for the double play. And the Yankees have turned their second 3-6-1 double play. A run will score to make it 13-4.
You very seldom ever see this play. The Yankees have done it twice with a guy that's filling in for Tino Martinez at first base. They make it look easy. Everything has to work perfectly for that double play to be made. I mean, everybody's got to be moving in the right direction.
Red Sox have scored twice here in the eighth. It'll bring up Lou Merloni. First major league at bat. Hit a home run for his hometown Red Sox. His parents own a restaurant not too far from here in Framingham, and it was a big night at the restaurant.
Must be an Italian restaurant, huh?
2 balls, no strikes from Willie Banks. Red Sox scoring for the first time since the second inning. David Cone stands to win his 6th of the year against only 1 loss. There's a strike, 2-1. And with a win today, David Cone would go to 5-2 lifetime against the Red Sox. Merloni is hit by a pitch, and he'll be aboard. Didn't look like a fastball. It looked like a breaking ball, just didn't break.
Well, it looked like a ball that just, I'm not sure what it is. Back up breaking ball. Just kind of was spinning, and Merloni didn't make too much of an attempt to get out of the way.
Here's our Affleck trivia quiz. Who was the first American leaguer to be a unanimous choice for Rookie of the Year? He did play for the Boston Red Sox. Pitch is low, ball 1 to Darren Lewis, the top of the order now for the Red Sox. Ooh, who was it, Bobby?
I don't know. Was he a left-handed hitter?
There's a call strike. Yeah, I was thinking Freddie Lynn, but then I thought Jim Rice came in the same year and he might have gotten some votes.
Maybe I was kind of thinking maybe Yaz or something.
Fly ball to right. O'Neill drifts over towards the line, makes the catch. Red Sox are retired here in the 8th inning. They score a couple of runs off of Willie Banks. We played 8 full innings here at Fenway Park. It's all Yankees, folks. Well, let's check out the answer to this question. Who was the first American leaguer to be a unanimous choice for Rookie of the Year? That's our Affleck trivia quiz.
I said Yastrzemski. Penny said Carlton Fisk, and you said Fred Lynn, right?
Yeah, but I don't think it was Fred, to be honest with you. I just guessed.
All right, who is it?
Carlton
Penny,
Fisk. All
right.
1972.
All right.
Carlton Fisk. Be in the Hall of Fame one day.
How about this guy here? He may be in the Hall of Fame too. Dennis Eckersley, the oldest player in the American League at age 43. And among the active career pitching leaders, he has 390 saves in his lifetime, converted from a starter. And what a difference did that make?
And Eck will face Scott Brocious, and it's a ball and a strike. Eckersley had power and control. very rarely walks anybody. And maybe the power has seceded a little bit, but the control is still there. Ball hit hard down the left field line. Foul. And Brosius just missed another hit. He has 2 this afternoon and has walked once. As you look at the retired numbers, Bobby Doerr, number 1, Joe Cronin, number 4, Yaz, number 8, Ted Williams, number 9, and Jackie Robinson's number, which is retired in all ballparks in the major leagues, 42. Now, they were in a different order until this year. Brosius hits one high and deep to left field. The Yankees have another run, a home run for Scott Brosius. It's 14-4. Brosius' 3rd home run of the year. So a rude welcome for Dennis Eckersley. And I guess that's a look that a lot of managers have had this year when it comes to playing the Yankees.
Well, it's not a fluke that this Yankee ball club can put a hurt on you. They have guys that know how to hit. They got guys that put the ball in play. They've got guys that can come off the bench that have played in the major leagues. And this is what you try to do when you come to Fenway. You try to put some damage up on that screen. The only thing you have to worry about is overswinging here and trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark.
It's been that type of afternoon. All smiles in the Yankee dugout. 14 runs on 15 hits. Dale Swaim has one of those hits, has an RBI. Bouncing ball off the glove of Eckersley and on into center field for a base hit. Swaim with his 2nd hit of the afternoon. And that'll bring up Joe Girardi, who has 3 of them. Well, Eckersley years ago was a starting pitcher for the Red Sox. Started with Cleveland, to the Red Sox, then to the Cubs, to Oakland, St. Louis, and now Boston.
Well, he really turned his career around in Oakland under the leadership of La Russa and Duncan. When he was converted to a guy out of the bullpen, everybody knew he had a good arm and he had good control. And they just went ahead and perfected all of that. And then next thing you know, he was the power pitcher that you have as a closer now.
Ground ball to 3rd for Valentin. This could be the start of 2. No, they're only going to get 1. Throw to 2nd was a little offline, handled by Merloni. Well, fielder's choice has Girardi safe at 1st, and now there's 2 outs. You know, Eck was kind of hesitant at first. He didn't want to go to the bullpen. Going to the bullpen probably made him a Hall of Famer. Here's Homer Bush. Made that nice play at 2nd to start a double play. Hit a soft liner to the shortstop Benjamin and is only at bat thus far in the 7th. Foul ball, strike 1.
I mentioned the save leaders. Of course, Lee Smith leads in saves with 478. That's almost unbelievable.
Oh, 2 on Bush. Flash Gordon, or as his manager likes to call him, Thomas. Thomas Gordon warming up in the bullpen.
Well, he got an inning and a 3rd on Friday night when he saved the game for Boston.
Same sort of thing. As a starting pitcher, becomes a reliever. And talking to Jimmy Williams about Tom Gordon, who's having a fantastic year leading the major leagues in saves, he said that he has the mentality of an everyday player. And by becoming a reliever and a closer, he can come to the ballpark expecting to pitch that day if the Red Sox have the lead. Bush hits a shot in the right field for a base hit. So Eckersley has given up 3 hits this inning. Girardi will stop at 2nd, and the inning continues. And that'll bring up Derek Jeter. So even on a day where he's probably not needed, Tom Gordon's up and throwing in a bullpen.
Well, Jimmy Williams with Pedro Martinez, the next guy out of the starting spot for Boston, probably won't need the bullpen that much when Pedro toes the mound.
Here's Derek Jeter, who's had 3 hits today, 3 for 5. I mentioned the Blue Jays coming here tomorrow night to play the Red Sox as the Yankees take off and head for Chicago. And a date with the White Sox tomorrow night. Kind of a half swing and a miss by Jeter. 1-1. Tomorrow, right here on MSG, our New York Marriott's Yankees scorecard at 6:30. Ball was fouled off by Jeter. And that will be Jamie Navarro pitching for the White Sox and Hideki Irabu taken to the hill for the Yankees. Hideki looking for his 4th win without a loss this year. Jeter with a bouncing ball foul down the third base side.
Irabu will be trying to lower that earned run average that he will take into tomorrow night's game.
How much lower can it get?
Not much more, I can tell you that. I know one thing, David Cohn's run support's going to go up today. He started today at 8.5 is the kind of support that he gets. There's Hideki.
Hideki's thinking, can they score this many for me tomorrow? Jeter again rolls one foul down the third base side. Hopes his teammates do not lose their hitting shoes between here and Chicago. The Yankees have now scored 26 runs in the last 2 days.
1.40 is Irabu's earned run average.
Two on with 1 out. Just outside.
Well, one thing, the Yankees, the last 2 games up until this point right here, have scored 26 runs.
Joe Torre has enjoyed it all. Jeter with a slow roll to third. They go to second for 1, and Merloni is taken out by Homer Bush. There will be no relay.
Well, you have a 14-4 lead, and Homer Bush still hustling, breaking up a double play. Valentin's throw to the second baseman, but there is Bush right on top of Merloni, and he upends him. Consequently, no double play.
So first and third, 2 outs, and Paul O'Neill will come to the plate. Drove in a run with a sacrifice fly, lifts a fly ball to left field. Coming on quickly, it's Bragg going back as a shortstop, and it's Benjamin who makes the catch for the final out for the Yankees here at the top of the 9th inning. They score a run on the home run by Scott Brosius. We head to the bottom of the 9th, 14-4. Yankees lead it. And just a reminder, this copyrighted telecast is authorized under rights granted by the New York Yankees solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publications, reproductions, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the New York Yankees and Madison Square Garden Network is prohibited.
Boy, you do that so good.
Well, you listen to those teachers who teach you how to read years ago.
You got good ears.
Darren Bragg is going to lead it off. Bottom of the 9th inning. Willie Banks trying to close it out. And misses outside, ball 1. Bragg, Leyritz, and Jefferson for the Red Sox. Darren Bragg sitting on an 0 for 4 afternoon. Lifts a fly ball, lazy fly ball for Bernie Williams. Kind of drifting with the wind and has it. 1 out in the 9th. Darren Bragg now 0 for 5. Ooh, I used to hate that. Here's Jim Leyritz. Former Yankee, had a base hit his first time.
Number 31, the first baseman.
Seems like he not only got big hits for the Yankees, he hits against the Yankees. Still sporting that unusual stance. It's not how you do it, it's if you do it. Ball 1.
Big travel year for Leyritz last year. Starting out in Anaheim, ended up in Texas, and now Boston. I think Jimmy still has a lot of heart for New York right now, though. That'll be out of play. Talking to him Friday before that game started and reminiscing about his Yankee days, etc. You can just tell by the way these guys talk that they really do, miss playing in New York. Of course, when you get a chance to play for the Yankees, put on those pinstripes, it's something special, and you never do forget it.
And win a World Series, too.
And win a World Series. It'd be a big part of that series win.
Good curveball for a strike, 1-2. It was his home run that turned it around.
Boy, did it ever. No. My.
Mark Wohlers went to the slider. That's high, 2-2.
Throughout Mark Wohlers' years,
he'd be haunted by that.
That'll be the one that they bring up no matter what he does. The one pitch to Leyritz.
14-4. Yankees looking to make it 2 out of 3. Another pitch is fouled off by Leyritz. Well, tonight, right here on MSG, you can check out the MSG Sports Desk. That'll be at 10:30 p.m. Get all the news. Of course, tonight from the National Scope at midnight, Fox Sports News. Another foul back by Leyritz. And certainly it's been a busy afternoon, not only in baseball, but in other sports. Get all these Yankee highlights. There have been plenty of them.
About 30 minutes.
Yeah, won't it? Grounded foul by Leyritz as he prolongs his at-bat. A lot of the Fenway faithful has left. There's Reggie Jefferson on deck.
These are all Yankee fans that are left here. The Red Sox fans left.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Red Sox down to their last out as Willie Banks picks up his first strikeout of the afternoon. And Mass Pike and 95 South are going to be busy.
Nasty pitch right here. And that's the pitch that Mel Stottlemyre and Joe Torre want to see Willie Banks throw more often.
Reggie Jefferson has been 0 for 4 today. Bouncing ball to second. This could do it. Bush to Swain. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Red Sox here in the 9th inning. Nothing across against Willie Banks and the Yankees. And the Yankees have taken this series 2 out of 3 after dropping the opening game to the Red Sox 5-4. They stormed back to win yesterday 12-3. And Joe Torre sees his team continue the onslaught this afternoon and beating the Red Sox by a final score of 14-4. For the Red Sox, they came in knowing that they would have to win at least 2 out of 3 or maybe sweep to get closer to the Yankees in the division. Well, instead, they fall into 6 games behind Joe Torre and his ball club. The Yankees having a great weekend here in Boston.
Well, the Red Sox reading some of the quotes about this New York Yankees series coming up, and they have great respect for this ball club, and I think they may have more respect now that the Yankees won the last 2 games. Now the Yankees have won 17 consecutive series, 3 or 4 game series, as they blow the Red Sox out here by the score of 14-4. And the fans, what fans are left? And they are Yankee fans giving the New York Yankees a big hand as they return to the dugout to go back into the clubhouse after their defeat of the Red Sox this afternoon. Well, David Cone, it wasn't vintage David Cone. John Valentin with a puzzled look on his face. Tough day for him. But David Cone was not that sharp, but he did get the run support, and now he has won 6 in a row.
The run support that he usually gets as his ball club comes through for him again.
Yes,
the
sir.
Yankees win at 14-4. It's on to Chicago tomorrow night for the first of 3. We'll be back with more in just a moment. The final score here at Fenway Park is the Yankees win it 14-4 over the Boston Red Sox. David Cone picks up his 6th win of the year. He's now 6-1. Losing pitcher is the veteran Brett Saberhagen, whose record drops to 5-3. Coming up next is our Jeep Eagle post-game report. You want to stand by for that. Mike Crispino, Michael Kay will bring you all the highlights of what's happened with the Yankees in this series. And tomorrow night, Yankees at Chicago as they take on the White Sox. That's the first of 3 right here on MSG. That'll be on at 6:30 p.m. Red Sox got going early in the ball game. It was Mo Vaughn with a double. Scott Brosius not happy on being called out on 3rd strike. Then the Yankees started to turn it around as Bernie Williams came through with a big hit as they started to rally and get back on the scoreboard against these Boston Red Sox. Well, so far, our producer, Eddie Caginelli today. Bill Webb was our director. For Bobby Mercer, this is Ken Singleton saying so long from Fenway Park in Boston.